Increase in age. Arun's present age is 40% of Barun's. Arun and Barun. Barun's age were 5x, Arun's age would be 2x. In another few years, Arun's age will be half of Barun's. And let's say another few years, let's take y more years later, Arun would be 2x plus y years old, and Barun would be 5x plus y years old. This is twice of this. 2 times 2x plus y is 5x plus y. 4x plus 2y is 5x plus y, or y equals x. Or Barun's age goes from 5x to 6x. By what percentage did it increase? 20%. It goes from 5x to 6x, percentage increase is 20%. Very simple question. A person can complete a job in 120 days. He works alone on day 1. On day 2, he is joined by another person, so 2 people, who can also complete the job in exactly 120 days. On day 3, he is joined by another person of equal efficiency, so 3 people. Like this, every day a new person with the same efficiency joins the work. We count man days of work. 1 man day gets done, 2 man days get done, 3 man days get done, 4 man days get done, 5 man days get done, and so on. So at the nth day, n man days will get done. Total work done would be n into n plus 1 by 2, which is 120. Or n into n plus 1 is 240. Not going to imagine the quadratic. 15 square is 225. This is close to 15. This is 15 into 16. How many days are required to complete the job? 15 days. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 all the way till 15 will add up to 120. An elevator has a weight limit of 630 kilograms. It's carrying a group of people of whom the heaviest weighs 57 kilograms and the lightest weighs 53. What is the maximum number of people in the group? For maximum number of people, we should have maximum number of people weighing this. So out of 630, subtract 57. 10 minus 7 is 3. 12 minus 5 is 7. 573. Wonderful. Now there's one guy who should have weighed this much. Set aside that guy, and then the remaining all should weigh this much. 573 divided by 53. So 53. 10 people. 10 people weighing 53 kilograms and 1 weighing 57. And so an elevator has a weight limit of 630 kilograms. 10 people weighing 53 kilograms and 1 weighing 57 will take us to 530 plus 57, 587. We have room for another 43 kilograms, which can be offset by having more people weighing 53 kilograms. So we have what is the maximum possible number of people in the group. So we have 11 people. We could have 1 of 57 and 10 of 53, but we cannot have 12 people in this group. Fine. So 53 into 11 plus 57 is greater than 630. So that doesn't work. 11 people with 1 weighing 57 and the rest weighing something less than that, but greater than 51. 53 or greater will work. So 53 into 10, 530 plus 57 takes us to 587. We have another 43 to get. So assorted different combinations, or some combination can take us to 630. But what is the maximum number of people in the group? This is 11. We cannot have 12 people in this group. Fine. So 12 people in this range is not possible. A man leaves his home and walks at a speed of 12 kilometers per hour, reaching the railway station 10 minutes after the train had departed. If instead he walked at a speed of 15 kilometers per hour, he would have reached the station 10 minutes before the train's departure. Let's say the distance is D. He can travel at 12 kilometers per hour and 15 kilometers per hour. In this, he takes T plus 10. In this, he takes T minus 10 minutes. Or I'm going to do this very differently. Time taken in this instance is d by 12. This distance is d by 15. D by 12 minus d by 15 is 1 by 3. Wonderful direct way of doing this without worrying about the time t. What are we doing here? The difference between these two times is 20 minutes. Time taken for this, time taken for this. The difference between these two is 20 minutes. We take the distance in kilometers and speed in kilometers per hour. We'll get the answer in hours. The difference is 20 minutes, which is 1/3 of an hour. And then we are done. So LCM is 60. 5d by 60 minus 4d by 60 is 1 by 3. Or d by 60 is 1 by 3. D is 20 kilometers. Ravi invests 50% of his monthly savings in fixed deposit. 50% of the rest of his savings is invested in stocks. 50% in FD. The rest is 50%. 30% of this is invested in stocks. So stocks is 15%. The total amount deposited by him in the bank for savings account and fixed deposit is 59500. Total amount deposited by him, which is this 50% plus the remaining 35%. 85% of X equals 59500. Find X. X equals 59500 by 85 into 100 by 0.85 effectively. Divide by 5, this becomes 17,119. 119 by 17, 17 goes into it 7 times, or X is 70,000. Or Ravi earns 70,000 rupees. 35,000 he puts as FD, and then some 10,500 he puts as savings into stocks. The remaining he keeps in a savings account, and what he puts in FD and savings account add up to 59500. If a seller gives a discount of 15% on retail price, she still makes a profit of 2%. So there is mark price, you say X, selling price is 0.85X. This is equal to 1.02 times cost price, because she still makes a profit of 2%, or 0.85, 1.6, 0.17 into 5, 0.17 into 6, or selling price, which is 0.85x is 1.02 CP. Think about this. X equals 1.02 by 0.85 CP. This is 6 by 5 CP. Which of the following ensures that she makes a profit of 20%? If X were her selling price, she'll make a profit of 20%. Or she should not give any discount. No discount, no discount, no increase. Sell at retail price. So the discount makes her price clash. If the selling price were X, then X is 6 by 5 times CP. That'll be a 20% profit. So she should not give any discount if she wants to make a profit of 20%. A man travels by a motorboat down a river to his office and back with the speed of the river unchanged. If he doubles the speed of his motorboat, then his total travel time gets reduced by 75%. The ratio of original speed of the motorboat to the speed of the river is, let's say, it goes down and then comes back up. Let's say his boat speed is B, stream speed is S. Going down, he has B plus S. Coming up, he has B minus S. Right, so some distance by B plus S plus the same distance by B minus S is time taken T. If he doubles the speed of his motorboat, D by 2B plus S plus D by 2B minus S, the time reduces by 75%, or this becomes T by 4. We need to find original speed of the motorboat to the speed of the river. We need to find B is to S. This holds good. And so I'm going to remove T and D from this equation by dividing one by the other. You divide this equation by this equation, D gets away. We'll have 1 by B plus S plus 1 by B minus S divided by 1 by 2B plus S plus 1 by 2B minus S to be equal to 4. Fine. Let's simplify this. I'm going to take the LCM in the numerator, LCM in the denominator. So B minus S plus B plus S by B square minus S square divided by 2B minus S plus 2B plus S divided by 4B square minus S square equals 4. The S gets knocked off, S gets knocked off. This is 4B and this is 2B. So 2B by B square minus X square into 4B square minus S square by 4B equal to 4. The B gets knocked off. We have a 2 here. 4B square minus S square by B square minus S square is 8. We want to find original ratio of speed of motorboat to that of river. We want to find B by S. Let's say we say B by S is equal to K. And further, let's say B by S, the whole square is equal to K. This is 4K minus 1 by K minus 1 is 8. 4K minus 1 is 8K minus 8. 8 minus 1 is 4K, or K is 7 by 4. Or the ratio we are looking for is square root of 7 by 4, or root 7 is to 2. Wonderful question, not too complicated, but layers of computation and solving algebra involved. Get some practice into boat and speed idea. This should be true. Suppose C1, C2, C3, C4 and C5 are 5 companies. Profits made by C1, C2 and C3. C1, C2, C3. Profits are in the ratio 9 is to 10 is to 8. Profits made by C2, C4, C5 are in the ratio 18, 19, 20. This is 10, this is 18. LCM is 90, so reject this. This becomes 90. This is 81, 81, 90, 72. Becomes 90, 95, 100. So the ratio is 81 is to 90 is to 72 is to 95 is to 100, all in terms of X. C5 has made a profit of rupees 19 crore more than C1. C5 is 19 crore more than C1. Or this is 81 crore, 90 crore, 90 crore, 90 crore, 100 crore. The difference 100 minus 81 is exactly 19. Total profit made by all of them put together. The sum of all this. 5 plus 2, 7, 7 plus 1, 8, 8. And 8 plus 9, 17 plus 7, 24 plus 9, 33, 438 crore. Choice A. Done. Is transitioning two systems of two sets of ratios. The number of girls appearing for an admission test is twice the number of boys. So boys, twice the number of boys. If 30% of the girls and 45% of the boys, 0.45B and 0.6B get admission. So 1.05B get admission. The remaining 1.95B do not get admission. As a percentage, 1.95B by 3B into 100, which is 65%. 65% do not get admission. In a market, the price of medium quality mangoes is half that of good mangoes. Medium quality and good quality. 2x, x. A shopkeeper buys 80 kilograms of good quality and 40 of medium quality mangoes, and then sells all these at a common price, which is 10% less than the price at which he bought the good ones. So good ones 2x, 10% less than that is 1.8x. So his total cost price is 40x plus 160x. This total selling price is 1.8x into 120. This is 200x. This is 216x, or a profit of 8%. 200 to 216, 200x to 216 is nothing but 100 to 108, a profit of 8%. Capture data clearly and you're through. Medium quality is x, good quality is 2x. 80 of this, 40 of this. Total cost is 40x, 160x. Total cost price is 200x. The price is 10% less than this, which is 1.8x. All the mangoes are sold at this price, or 120 mangoes sold at this price. The total selling price is this much. He buys at 200x, sells at 216x. His profit percentage is 8%. If Fatima sells 60 identical toys at a 40% discount on the printed price, then she makes 20% profit. So identical toys, 40% discount on printed price. So printed price, let's say, is x. So selling price is 0.6x. So 40% profit. Cost price is 0.5x. How did we get there? It's a 20% profit, not 40%, 20% profit. So selling price should be 1.2 times cost price. So if this is 0.6x, that is 1.2 times cost price, or cost price is 0.5x, which is what we got here. 10 of those toys are destroyed in fire. While selling the rest, how much discount should be given on the printed price so that she can make the exact same amount in profit? So this is if she sells 60 identical toys. Now she doesn't get to sell 60, she sells only 50. And so her total cost price is 0.5x into 50 into 60, which is 30x. She needs to make a 20% profit. So from 30x, she has to realize 36x. She has to make 36x from just 50 goods, or he should sell at 0.72x. Her printed price is x. Her selling price should be 0.72x, or she gives a 28% discount. Going over the whole process, for 60 toys, the numbers look like this. Printed price is x, selling price is 0.6x because discounted by 40%. This returns a 20% profit, or my cost price is 0.5x. For each of the goods, therefore the math works. However, she's not able to sell everything. She loses 10 of the toys. So in the new scenario, she buys 60 but sells only 50. But she wants to see the same profit. If she buys 60, she sees cost price of 30x. She has to make 20% profit, or she should have a total selling price of 36x. She has only 50 items to sell now. So 36x have to be sold for 50 items. Each item, the good is 0.72x. Or what was at x now has to be sold at 0.72x, or we can discount by 28%. A class consists of 20 boys and 30 girls. In the mid-semester examination, the average score of the girls was 5 higher than that of the boys. Fine. Boys and girls. Fine. 20 and 30. Average of boys was n, girls would have been n plus 5. That means the overall average, I already know this difference is 5. The overall average would have been n plus 3, closer to the girls than to the boys, split in the ratio 2:3. In the final exam, however, the average score of the girls dropped by 3, while the average score of the entire class increased by 2. So average of the entire class is n plus 3. This would have gone to n plus 5. Average score of the girls dropped by 3, so the girls would have gone to n plus 2 from n plus 5. Well, the average, what will the increase in the average score of the boys? Now, n plus 2 and something would have resulted in n plus 5. This difference is 3. Ratio should be 2:3. So this difference should be 4.5. I'm talking about the alligation method. So this should have been n plus 9.5, or the average score of the boys would have increased by 9.5. One wonderful question, beautiful question, done with the approach of allegations. And so what are we doing here? Initially, the boys to girls ratio is 2:3. So boys were n, girls were n plus 5. So if you subtract and get here, you should get 2:3. The difference between these two numbers is 5. So the 2:3 gets split as 2 and 3. So this should have been n plus 3. N plus 5 minus n plus 3 is 2. N plus 3 minus n is 3. We've got this far. And then we know the average score of the girls dropped by 3. N plus 5 becomes n plus 2. Of the average score of the entire class increased by 2. N plus 3 becomes n plus 5. So you're mixing something and n plus 2 in the ratio 2:3 to get n plus 5. So this something should have been n plus 9.5. From n, we add 9.5 to go to 9.5. It's a classic question where algebraically you can get to the answer. But if you think along the way of using this allegations method, you are running to the answer, racing to the answer, getting it right. So wonderful, wonderful question where one method is significantly superior to another one. And you can rush to the answer if you can just think in terms of splitting the difference. Between n and n plus 5, the difference is 5. Break that in the ratio 2:3, you've got your weighted average. The wonderful way of thinking about weighted average. So if you're mixing 80 and 90 and mixing it in the ratio 2:3, you can do 2 into 80, 3 into 90 by 5. Or you can say the difference is 10. I'll break this in the ratio 2:3. So that is 4 and 6. So this number should, mixing 80 and 90 in the ratio 2:3, it becomes 4 and 6, or I can find this number to be 86. And wonderful approach. If you can think like that, you're going doing these questions really quickly. So keep that in mind. Magic square. The numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 till 9 are arranged in a 3 by 3 square grid in such a way that each number occurs once, and the entries along each column, each row, and each of the two diagonals add up to the same value. And so they all add up to the same value. And so the top left and the top right entries of the grid are 6 and 2 respectively. Then the bottom middle entry is. And so to start with, 1 to 9 are all distributed. The total of all this should be 9 into 10 by 2, which is 45. Each row adds up to the same number. Each column and each row add up to the same number. 3 rows make up the whole grid. So any sum, the sum has got to be 15. Right? Now let's put the numbers in. We know that the top left and top right entries of the grid are 6 and 2. Top left is 6, top right is 2. 6 plus 2 is 8, so this should be 7. And so these three add up to 15. As a simple rule of thumb in all of these magic square questions, you can take it for granted that the middle number, which is going to be part of this, and this, 4 different sums, is going to be the middle number. From 1 to 9 you arrange, 5 in the middle, put the number bang in the middle, 7 plus 5 is 12, 12 plus 3, 15, and then you can fill the rest out. Everything else falls in place. There are probably still 1 or 2 variants available, but the sum is 15. The key idea here, find the total sum. Therefore, you are able to find the sum of each row or each column. Each row, each column, each diagonal all add up to 15. And so now you can fill the entire grid. So 6 plus 5 is 11. This will be 4. 2 plus 5 is 7. This will be 8. This automatically adds up to 15. 6 plus 8, 14 plus 1. This is 9. Everything is 15. This is the entire grid. So we want to know then the bottom middle entry. Bottom middle entry is 3. The answer should be 3. And stick in the middle number in the middle, and then this kind of question become very simple. Find the total of everything put together. That is 45. So each row, each column should add up to 15. Then work from there on. In a 10-kilometer race, A, B, and C, each running at uniform speed, get gold, silver, and bronze medals. If A beats B by 1 kilometer and B beats C by 1 kilometer, that means in this 10-kilometer race, when let's say A, B, and C start here, when A finishes, B has done only 9 kilometer. When A does 10, B does only 9. And then a little while later, B finishes. At that time, C is done only 9 kilometer. B beats C by 1 kilometer. Just remember, only one thing we need to remember. A, B, C are not at the 10 kilometer, 9 kilometer, 8 kilometer point. If B beats C by 1 kilometer, this means when B finishes the race, when B is at the end point, then C is at the 9 kilometer point. After this, this is a plain old-fashioned ratio question. When A does 10, B does 9. When B does 10, C does 9. And then by how many meters does A beat C? That means when A is finishing, how much has C done? When B does 10 kilometers, C does 9. When B does 8 kilometers, C will do 9 into 9 by 10, which is 8.1. When A does 10 kilometers, C does 8.1 kilometers, or C lags behind by 1.9 kilometers. Remember, we need to give the answer in meters. This is 1900 meters. So the answer is 1900. Bottle 1 contains a mixture of milk and water in the ratio 7:2, and bottle 2 contains a mixture of milk and water in the ratio 9:4. In what ratio of volumes should the liquids in bottle 1 and bottle 2 be combined so that the mixture of milk and water is 3:1 in the final combination? The key thing in all of this, don't track milk to water ratio. Don't track this. Track milk by overall or water by overall. One of these two. So I want to say this is 7/9 milk. This is mixed with 9/13 milk in some ratio to give us 3/4 milk. 7/9 milk is mixed with 9/13 milk to give us 3/4 milk. And what ratio should we be mixed this? Is the allegations approach. So this will be 7/9 minus 3/4. This will be 3/4 minus 9/13. 7/9 is more than 9/13. And so 7/9 minus 3/4, LCM is 36. So 3/4, 7/9, 9 fours are 36, 7 fours are 28. 28 minus 27/36. This is 1/36. 4 and 13, the LCM is 52. 3/4 is 39/52. 9/13 is 36/52. So this is 3/52. Or they should be mixed in the ratio 3/52 is to 1/36. And so this can get knocked off. So it'll become 18, becomes 26. So further knocked off, this will become 9, this will become 13. Or the ratio is 27:13. When this allegations method is very useful. Look at the allegations method, do 5 questions, see the proof of the allegations method, intuitively get why the allegations method works. Think about the notion of splitting the difference, but it is frightfully useful. The computational part is not that easy, but it's doable. But there's a very regular question. This way of mixing 2 mixtures to get 1 mixture and then finding the ratio, it's very simple. Get some practice in, you should nail these questions. Arun's journey. Arun drove from home to his hostel at 60 miles per hour. While returning home, he drove halfway along the same route at 25 miles per hour and then took a bypass road which increased his driving distance by 5 miles but allowed him to drive at 50 miles per hour along this bypass road. If his return journey took 60 minutes more than his onward journey, then the total distance traveled by him is. So let's say he goes from home to hostel. Let's say this is a distance of 2D. Why 2D? Because there's some number which says half the distance. And so he takes this route at 2D, he travels one way. Second time around, he drove half the route D and then took a bypass which increased the distance by 5 miles, made it D plus 5. This is the bypass. Right? While going, I'm going to assume that this D is in miles. The time taken would have been 2D by 60. While returning, the time taken would have been D by 25, because he's traveling at 25 miles, and D plus 5 by 50, plus D plus 5 by 50. This is onward journey. This is return journey. Time taken difference will be in terms of hours. We've assumed D in miles. This is miles per hour, miles per hour, miles per hour. This will be in hours. This will be in hours. Right? His return journey took 30 minutes more than his onward journey. 30 minutes more than his onward journey. That means half an hour more. Onward journey would have taken D by 30, 2D by 60 plus half equals D by 25 plus D by 50 plus 1 by 10. D by 25 plus D by 50 more it is 2D by 50. So this is 3D by 50. So D by, so 1 by 2 minus 1 by 10 equals 3D by 50 minus D by 30. 1 by 2 minus 1 by 10 is 5 by 10 minus 1 by 10. 5 by 10 minus 1 by 10, which is 4 by 10, which is 2 by 5. This side is 2 by 5. That side LCM of 50 and 30 is 150. So I'm going to write this in the next page. So 3D by 50 minus D by 30 is equal to 2 by 5. LCM is 150. 3D into 3 is 9D. D into 5 is 5D. So this is 4D by 150. 2 by 5 equals 4D by 150. This I'm going to make it as 2D. 150 by 5 is 30. D by this is 15. D by 15 is 1 or D is 15 miles. Remember, we're talking about his total journey. That means he traveled 2D and then D, and then D plus 5. You're traveling 4D plus 5, 60 plus 5, 65 miles. The question says the total distance traveled by him. Onward, he traveled 2D. Return journey, he traveled D and then a D plus 5 because of the bypass. So 4D plus 5 is the answer we are looking for, which is 65 miles. Construct the right equation, then this becomes a very routine question. But the shirts produced in a factory, 15% are defective, while 20% of the rest are sold in the domestic market. So 100% to start with, 85% is non-defective, 80%, 20% are sold in the domestic market. So 80% of 85% is what is sold in the export market. 80% of 85% of X equals 8840. 80% is 4 by 5, 85% is 17 by 20 equals 8840. We need to find X. You're through. You're given a calculator, but you probably don't need this. Cancel the 4. 884 divided by 4 is 2210. 221 is 17 into 13. So cancel this off. This is 130. 5 into 20 is 100. 100 into 130 is 13,000. This is the number you're looking for. Find 15% are defective or 85% are normal. 20% of the rest are sold in the domestic market, or 80% of this number are exported. 80% of 85% of X is 8840. Find X. You're through. Very routine question. You should be comprehensively nailing these. The average height of 22 toddlers increases by 2 inches when 2 of them leave this group. So 22 toddlers, let's say average is A. 20 toddlers, average becomes A plus 2. And so this is the number, this is the average, or the total height would have been 22A. Now the total becomes 20 into A plus 2, but 2 people have left. Now the 2 who leave, their average height is 1/3 the average height of the original 22. That means A by 3, 2A by 3. This is the total height of the 20 students. This is the total height of the 2. This is total of 20. This is total of 2. This is total of 22. So this plus the sum of these two should be this. We manipulate this, we should be able to find A. And we need to find the average height of the remaining 20 toddlers, or our answer is a+2. This framework is very useful. Number of entities into average is equal to total. And so I'm going to write this equation down. 22a equals 20a plus 40 plus 2a by 3. So 2a minus 2a by 3 is 40. 4a by 3 is 40. A is 30. A is 30 inches. We're looking at a+2, which is 32 inches. A manufacturer of a table sells it to a wholesale dealer at a profit of 10%. X, wholesale dealer gets it at 1.1x. The wholesale dealer sells the table to a retailer at a profit of 30%. This is 10%. This is 30%. So he sells it 1.1x into 1.3. Finally, the retailer sells it to a customer at a profit of 50%. He sells it at 1.1 into 1.3 into 1.5x. The customer pays 4290. 1.1 into 1.3 into 1.5 times x is 4290. Into 11 into 13, 11 by 10 into 13 by 10 into 3 by 2 is 4290. 4 plus 2, 6, 6 plus 9, 15. So it's a multiple of 3. So divide by 3 to start with. Becomes 1430. 143 is 11 into 13. Wonderful. This goes off, giving us a 10. Or the price is 10 into 10 into 2 into 10. 1000 into 2, 2010. This way of writing the equation, you should know. 10% more, 1.1x. 30% more, 1.3 times that. 50% more, 1.5 times that whole number. That's equal to 4290. Solve x. Very regular question. You should do this really quickly. You should have done hundreds of questions similar to this. A tank has an inlet pipe and an outlet pipe. The outlet pipe is closed. Then the inlet pipe fills the empty tank in 8 hours. If the outlet pipe is open, then the inlet pipe. Outlet relieves in some time. Inlet plus outlet, it takes 10 hours. Or in 1 hour, the inlet pipe can fill 1 by 8, but is able to fill only 1 by 10. Or this outlet pipes takes away 1 by 8 minus 1 by 10. 5 by 40 minus 4 by 40. Or 1 by 40. In 1 hour, the outlet pipe takes away 1/40th of the tank. Or to drain an entire tank, the outlet pipe will take 40 hours. So far so good. The answer should be 40. Just wait a second. The question says, if only the outlet pipe is open, then in how many hours the full tank becomes half full? Or we need to empty only half a tank. Doesn't take 40 hours. It will take only 20 hours. Find the number, but then look at what is being asked. Full tank should become half full, or half the tank should be empty. To empty an entire tank, it takes 40 hours. Half the tank will get emptied in 20 hours. Mayank buys some candies for 15 a dozen and an equal number of candies for 12 a dozen. And so let's say he buys n candies at rupees 15 by 12 each, and then n candies at rupees 12 by 12 each. He sells all of them, that is 2n of these, at 16.5 by 12 each, and makes a profit of 150. How many dozens of candies does he buy? Now I'm going to make one shift. I'm not going to worry about each candy's cost. I'm going to assume there are n dozens of each. Right? So n dozen at 15, n dozen at 12, 2n dozen at 16.5. And so this is 15n plus 12n. This is 33n. 33n minus 27n. Selling price minus cost price is profit, which is 6n, which is 150, or n is 25. So he buys 25 dozens at this price, 25 dozens at this price, and sells the 50 dozens at this price. Or how many dozens of candies did he buy altogether? 50. Once again, n is 25, but the answer, we are looking to answer the question, what is 2n? So it is 50. In a village, the production of food grains increased by 40% and the per capita of production of food grains increased by 27% during a certain period. And so this is number of food grains by number of people equal to per capita. And so this increases. Let's say this per capita number was x by y. Originally, it has become 1.4x by something which happens to be 1.27 times of this number. Per capita original is this. Per capita final is this. X becomes 1.4x. So food grain production has increased. Per capita production has increased only a little, slightly lesser than this. That means this number has also gone. So x by y equal to some number. 1.4x by whatever this is 1.27 times this number, or 1.4x by something is 1.27 times x by y, or this number we are looking for is 1.4 by 1.27 times y. And so population of the village increased during the same period is nearest to is what we need to find. So y becomes 1.4 by 1.27 y. What is it closest to? And so this will be around 10% is my guess. So I'm just going to 1.27 plus 1.13. So it's not 13, it's less than 13%. Let's do 1.27 into 1.1. We'll see where it takes us. 127, 127, 7, 9, 3. This becomes 139, sorry, 1.397. It's as close to 1.4 as possible, or 10% increase is what you're looking for. X becomes 1.4x. Y becomes some number. X by y becomes 1.27 times x by y. Find this number. This is 1.1y. That's the math we are doing. A, B, C are three positive integers such that A and B are in the ratio 3:4. A is to B, 3:4. We're dealing with positive integers. That makes life very simple. B and C are in the ratio 2:1. B is to C is 2:1, or it is 3:4:2. 2:1 is nothing but 4:2. They're positive integers. Then there could be 3n, 4n, and 2n. If you add everything up, the total is 9 times n. The following is a possible value of a plus b plus c. A plus b plus c should be a multiple of 9. Done. 207, 2 plus 7 is 9. The other three are not multiples of 9. We're looking for a multiple of 9. We're jumping with joy that we've actually found this question in the exam and not some really tricky one. A motorbike leaves point A at 1 p.m. and moves towards point B at uniform speed. And so A, B, bike leaves at 1 p.m. A car leaves point B at 2 p.m. and moves towards point A at uniform speed, which is double that of the motorbike. So motorbike travels at a speed of x, car travels at 2x. They meet at 3:40 p.m. at a point which is 168 kilometers from A. So they meet at 3:40 p.m. So 168 kilometers from A. And so from 1 p.m. to 3:40 p.m. I'm going to think in terms of hours. This is 100 minutes. Sorry, 1 to 3:40. So it is 2 hours and 40 minutes. 2 by 3, or this is 8 by 3 hours A has traveled. B at the same time has traveled not 8 by 3 hours but only 5 by 3 hours. A has traveled for 8 by 3 hours. B has traveled for 5 by 3 hours. Fine. So 8 by 3 hours A travels at a speed of x. B travels for 5/3 at a speed of 2x. 8/3 into x is 168. What is 5/3 into 2x? This is what we are being asked. Fine. So 8/3x, this is 10/3. This is in the ratio 8:10. 8:10 is 168 is to what? Fine. So once we find this, we can find everything else after that. 8:10 is, this is 4:5. This is 168. 168 by 4 is 84/2, 42. 42 into 5 is 210. Or this is 168 kilometers. This is 210 kilometers. The total distance between A and B is 168 plus 210, which is 378 kilometers. Done. Amal can complete a job in 10 days. A, 10 days. Bimal can complete it in 8 days. Amal, Bimal and Kamal complete the job in 4 days. In 1 day, Amal can do 1/10, Bimal can do 1/8. Totally, they can do 1/4. Or Kamal, right, in 1 day can do 1/4 minus 1/8 minus 1/10. Or 10/40 minus 5/40 minus 4/40. LCM is 40, which is 1/40. Fine. So Kamal will take 40 days to finish the task. They are paid total of ₹1,000 as remuneration. The amount is shared in proportion to their work. If they are shared in proportion to their work, A is to B is to K, it should be shared in the ratio 1/10 into 1/8 is to 1/40. I'm going to multiply by 40, ratio 4 is to 5 is to 1. Totally, they get ₹1,000. And the amount Kamal should get 1/10 of this. This 1/10 of total, 5/10 of total, 4/10 of total. Should get 1/10 of ₹1,000 or should get ₹100. Key thing here, if you're given number of days you take to complete a task, you think about what gets done in 1 day. That's the rate. So 1/10, sorry, this is 1/8. Add these two, subtract from this, we'll get 1/40. Or Kamal would have taken 40 days to complete the entire task. They should share ₹1,000. They should share in the ratio of work done, not days taken. Or they should get money in the ratio 1/10 is to 1/8 is to 1/4. Sorry, 1/40. So 1/10, 1/8, 1/40. Or 4 is to 5 is to 1. Kamal's share is 1/10 of the total, which is 1/10 of 1,000, ₹100. 3 mixtures. Consider 3 mixtures. The first having water and liquid in the ratio 1:2. Liquid A in the ratio 1:2. The second having water and liquid B in the ratio 1:3. Third having water and liquid C in the ratio 1:4. These 3 mixtures of A, B and C are further mixed in the proportion 4:3:2. Let's say 4x of A, 3x of B, 2x of C. And so how much of A, B, C and water will be there? When liquid A is 1:2, water is to liquid. So 2/3 is liquid A and 1/3 is water. So 2/3 of 4x would be A. Liquid B would be 3/4 of 3x. Liquid C would be 4/5 of 2x. Water will be 9x minus all of this. And so this is 8/3x, 9/4x, 8/5x. So 8/3, 9/4, 8/5. And then water is the remaining part. And so now we have to go with the answer choices. This is little more than 2, little more than 2, little less than 2. If we add all this up, it should be close to 6. Water will be close to 3x. And so let's think about this. It has the same amount of water and liquid B. That's not the case. Same amounts of liquid B and C. That's not the case. More water than liquid B. Probably yes. More water than liquid A. Both can't be true. So let's look at the numbers in more detail. This 8 by 3, 9 by 4, 8 by 5. LCM is 60. 8 by 3, 3 into 20 is 60. 8 into 20 is 160 by 60. 9 into 15, 135 by 60. 8 into 12, 96x by 60. 160 plus 135, 295. 295 plus 96, 391 by 60. Subtracted from 9x. 9x is 540 by 60x. From this we subtract this. This is 9. 13 minus 9 is 4. 4 minus 3 is 1. 149x by 60. This is 229 by 60. This is 2, 1 by 4. This is 2, 2 by 3. So the amount of water is more than liquid B, but less than liquid A. More water than liquid B, that is true. More water than liquid A, that is not true. These two are not true. We're looking at choice C. The A and B are not true, clearly. Same amount of water in liquid B, not true. Same amounts of B and C, not true. More water than liquid B, that is true. Less than liquid A, so this is not true. 3 cars, points A, P, Q and B lie on the same straight line such that P, Q and B are respectively 100 kilometers, 200 kilometers and 300 kilometers away from A. And it looks like this. So A is here, B is here, and then P and Q are in the middle. And so that part is not explicit. B is farthest away, 300 kilometers. P and Q are 100 kilometers away. They lie on the same straight line. I'm going to assume that they are in this order. In 100 kilometers, 200 kilometers, 300 kilometers. I'm going to assume that P and Q are in between A and B. That seems like a reasonable assumption. So P is 100 kilometers from A. Q is 200 kilometers from A. So this is 100. B is 300 kilometers from A. So this is another 100. Cars 1 and 2 leave A at the same time and move towards B. So C1 and C2 move towards B. Simultaneously, car 3 leaves B and moves towards A. So C1 goes, C2 goes, C3 comes this way. Car 3 meets car 1 at Q. So here C1 and C3 meet. And car 2 at P. So car 2 and car 3 meet at P. Wonderful. So think about this. Car 3 reaches this point and then moves further to meet car 2 here. So car 1 is traveling quicker than car 2. So car 1 meets car 3, then car 2 meets car 3. And so C1 to C3, when car 3 travels 100, car 1 travels 200. So ratio of speeds C1 is to C3 is 2 is to 1. C2 is to C3. When C2 travels 100, C3 has traveled 200. C2 to C3 is 1 is to 2. We need to find C2 is to C1. That's it. So car 2 to car 3 is 1 is to 2. Fine. Car 1 to car 3 is 2 is to 1. We want to find car 2 is to car 1. And so this 2 is to 1 can be written as 4 is to 2, or the ratios are 1 is to 4 is to 2. Car 2 to car 1 is 1 is to 4. This is the answer. Right? These two meet here, ratio of the speeds is 2 is to 1. These two meet here, ratio of speeds is 1 is to 2. So once you know the ratio of the speeds between 1 and 3 and 2 and 3, you can find the ratio between 2 and 1. Very simple question. We don't need a heavy duty speed time distance. We're just simply thinking of it as ratios, nothing more than that. At A1, A2, A3 all the way till A52 be positive integers, that A1 less than A2 less than A3 less than all the way till A52. Wonderful. Remember, this is not even less than or equal to, strictly less than. Suppose their arithmetic mean is 1 less than the arithmetic mean of A2 to A52. Wonderful. So A2, A3, all the way till A52. Let's say they have an arithmetic mean of M. And A1 to A52, the arithmetic mean is M minus 1. A52 is 100. Then the largest possible value of A1 is. The wonderful question. So I'm going to think about it like this. A2 to A52, the arithmetic mean is M. A1 comes in. Think about this. If arithmetic mean of A1 also included to A2 to A52, if A1 is also included, and if that stayed at M, then A1 should have been M. Average of 51 entities is M. The 52nd, if that were also M, then all 52 average would be M. That's not the case we have here. The case we have here, the average falls by 1. That means the total should have fallen by 52. The average falls by 1. It's like you've taken 1 from each of these 52 entities. So that tells us our A1 should be M minus 52. Average of these 51 is M, and then you add one more. If that were M minus 52, then from an average of M, you're taking 1 on an average from each of the 52, the average would become M minus 1. The other way of doing this, the more conventional way of doing this, all of these put together, the sum is 51M. 51M plus A1 by 52 equals M minus 1. 51M plus A1 equals 52M minus 52, or A1 is M minus 52. This is the algebraic way of doing this, we know that. The average minus 52 is A1, average of these 51 entities. We want to find maximum value of A1. When will that be maximum? When average mean M should be maximum. We know all the numbers are distinct. We know that there are from A2 to A52 there are 51 numbers. So what is the maximum possible average of 51 distinct natural numbers, where the largest is 100, or we go 100, 91, 98, 97, 96, all the way till 50. It should be 51 numbers. Average of all this is nothing but 100 plus 50 by 2. That will be the average. Average is 75. So the M max is 75. A max is 75 minus 52, which is 23. The strength of a salt solution is P% if 100 ml of the solution contains P grams of salt. 3 salt solutions A, B and C are mixed in the proportion 1:2:3. Then the resulting solution has strength 20%. If instead the proportion is 3:2:1, the resulting solution has strength 30%. So A plus 2B plus 3C by 6 is 0.2. 3A plus 2B plus C by 6 is equal to 0.3. Right. Or A plus 2B plus 3 is 1.2. 3A plus 2B plus C is equal to 1.8. Wonderful. With this we can get some equation in A, B and C, and then we can start manipulating from there. We can figure something out, right? What is the question asking us? It says a fourth solution D is produced by mixing B and C in the ratio 2:7. D equals 2B plus 7C by 9. We need to find the strength of D to that of A. We need to find D by A. That's what we're looking at. B and C are mixed in the ratio 2:7. So how do we do this? It helps to form an equation with A, B and C. So I'm going to first up subtract these two. The B will disappear. 2A minus 2C is 0.6, or A minus C is 0.3. Then we'll see if we can eliminate the number part and get the ratio going. So if we multiply this by 3 and this by 2, so 3A plus 6B plus 9C is same as 6a plus 4b plus 2c. So let's bring the a over to this side and b and c over to this side. So 2b plus 7c equals 3a. This is 2b, 4b, 6b minus 4b is 2b, 9c minus 2c is 7c, 6a minus 3a is 3a. 2b plus 7c equals 3a. Is this giving us something? Is this giving us something? Think about this. 2b plus 7c, we've seen that somewhere. 2b plus 7c sits here. 2b plus 7c by 9 is 3a by 9. Or d equals 3a by 9. Or d is a by 3. We want the ratio d by a. D is equal to a by 3 or d by a is 1 by 3. 1:3. It's absolutely wonderful question. I must tell you that I look for an intuitive method of solving this, tried to manipulate the mixtures, didn't go anywhere. Tried to find an equation based method of solving it, did not go anywhere. Tried to say that the equation method is not going anywhere because we have only 2 equations, 3 variables. I'm missing something. So I said the data is missing, it's an incorrect question. It turned out that was wrong. Then said it was not an incorrect question. Tried to solve for a, b and c in terms of the other variables. Didn't go somewhere. So the method here is because we're asked for a ratio between d and a, between b and c in some combo on a, see if you can eliminate the numerical part. You're dealing with a ratio. So if you have a is c minus 0.3 or b in terms of a and a in terms of c with numbers thrown in, then the ratio is going to become very difficult to calculate. The numbers need to go away. So manipulate in some way as to remove away the numbers, have something to do only with a, b and c, and then see if you get lucky. In the other option, probably a prudent option, would be to say we're mixing 2 mixtures. We're talking about 2 mixtures in weird ratios, and a fourth 2 mixtures of 3 mixtures each, 3 solutions each, and then a third mixture D produced by mixing B and C. We have too many mixtures, too many percentages and too many solutions. We are better off not poking at this question, which should have been the best decision for me to take in the exam, and I'm very confident that's a decision I wouldn't have taken. So we all live and learn. In a tournament, there are 43 junior level and 51 senior level participants. Each pair of juniors play 1 match, and 43 junior level and 51 senior level. Each pair of seniors play 1 match. There is no junior versus senior match. The number of girl versus girl matches in junior level is 153. So there are probably boys and girls, and then here boys and girls. Well, the number of boy versus boy matches in senior level is 276. Wonderful. There are n number of girls here, m number of boys here. Let's say n girls here, m boys here. This question is very doable. Girl versus girl matches is 153. N girls, number of matches will be NC2. NC2 is 153. N into n minus 1 by 2 is 153. N into n minus 1 is 306. Don't factorize this and do something with a quadratic equation. Product of 2 consecutive numbers is 306. 306 is a multiple of 9. So we have an 18 into a 17. That should work. It does. So there are 18 girls in this. 43 minus 18 is 25 boys. Right. Now let's go here. M boy versus boy matches in senior level. MC2 is 276. M into m minus 1 by 2 is 276. M into m minus 1 is 276 into 2, 552. Fine, I'm going to write this down on the next page. M into m minus 1 is 552. 552 is 276 into 2, which is 138 into 4, which is 69 into 8, which is 23 into 24. We've hit pay dirt. This is 24 into 23. So 43 juniors, boys and girls, there are 25 boys and 18 girls. 51 seniors, boys and girls, there are 24 boys and 27 girls. The number of matches a boy plays against a girl is 25 into 18. All these boys have to play all these girls, plus 24 into 27, whatever this turns out to be. 25 into 18 plus 24 into 27. 25 into 18, 18 5s are 90, 0, 9, 36, 45, 450, plus 24 into 27. 24 7s are 168, 8, 16, 48 plus 16, 64, 648, 450 plus 648, 8, 9, 1098. I'm writing down 1098 as the answer. And very, very doable question. You need to be very comfortable with thinking in terms of NC2 and MC2. And then do the quadratic equation or the consecutive numbers multiplying part reasonably quickly, and then jump in and plonk the answer. There are two drums, each containing a mixture of paints A and B. In drum 1, A and B are the ratio 18:7. Drum 2, A and B are in the ratio which we don't know. The mixtures from drums 1 and 2 are mixed in the ratio 3:4. And in this final mixture, the overall mixture, A and B are in the ratio 13:7. Simple rule of thumb for questions like this: don't deal with A and B. Deal with A as a share of overall. What do I mean by that? A is 18/25 of overall. And here A will be sum X of overall, giving an overall A of 13/20. And these two are mixed in the ratio 3:4. So 18/25 into 3 plus X into 4 divided by 7 is 13/20. Fine. 18/25 into 3 plus share of A into 4 by 7 is 13/20. Right? So I'm going to simplify this. 18 into 3 is 54/25 plus 4x equals 7 into 13, 91/20. Or 4x equals 91/20 minus 54/25. I'm beginning to get spooked off with the numbers, but the choices are telling me that there is still hope for us. The choices are weird. So don't worry, power ahead. 4x equals, LCM of these two is 100. 91 into 5 is 455. 54 into 4 is 216. Or 4x is 455 minus 216. 15 minus 6 is 9. 4 minus 1 is 3. 239/100. Or x is 239/400. In drum 2, A is 239/400 overall. B should be the remaining, or A is to B should be 239:161. How do we get this 161? This is 400 minus 239. Or the ratio should be 239:161. Thankfully, that is there in our choices. Otherwise, we have to go through this whole process once again. Key thing here, think of everything in terms of only A. A good exercise would be to say, look, I'm going to think of it only in terms of B and then solve it. Try that. You will definitely get the same answer. But think of these in terms of only A or only B, not the ratio A is to B. A 20% ethanol solution is mixed with another solution, say S, of unknown concentration in the proportion 1:3 by volume. So 20% and S in the ratio 1:3. The mixture is then mixed with an equal volume of 20% ethanol solution. So this mixture is mixed with 20% ethanol in the ratio 1:1. The resultant mixture is 31.25% ethanol. So the resultant mixture is 31.25%. Fine. So wonderful question, because some amount of mathematical intuition is very useful in this. This mixture which is formed is mixed in equal ratio to get 31.25. So think about this. Forget about this first part. Deal only with this. Mixture and this are mixed to get 31.25. They are mixed in equal quantity. 31.25 is 11.25 more than this. A further 11.25 will should be mixtures thing, should be the bang in middle midpoint because they're mixed in equal ratios. So 20% plus 11.25% is 31.25%. This plus 11.25%, 31.25 plus 11.25, this is 0.5, or mixture should be 42.5%. So this is 42.5%. Mixed in the ratio 1:3 takes us to 42.5%. Now we have an old-fashioned mixtures question in our hands. We are mixing a 20% solution and S and getting 42.5%. We are mixing these two in the ratio 1:3. This difference is 22.5. 42.5 minus 20 is 22.5. Old-fashioned alligation method. So this should be 7.5. Should be in the ratio 1:3. This is 24.5. This is 7.5. Or our S should be 42.5 plus 7.5%, 50%. Key thing here, do the second thing first and then go to the first one. The second thing idea is it is mixed in the ratio 1:1. So the final solution should be bang in the middle. So this should be right midpoint between these two. Straight away get the mixtures concentration. Stick that in, use your alligation method, you're through. A tank is emptied every day at a fixed time point. Fine. Immediately thereafter, either pump A or pump B or both start working until the tank is full. On Monday, A alone completed filling the tank at 8 p.m. So let's say Monday, A works for n hours to fill the entire tank. On Tuesday, B alone completely filled the tank at 6 p.m. So n minus 2 hours. Been open for 2 hours lesser than A. On Wednesday, A alone worked till 5 p.m. Plus n minus 3 hours A has worked. And then B worked alone from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. to fill the tank. 2 hours to fill the tank. So A takes n hours to fill the tank. N hours of A can fill the tank. N minus 2 hours of B can fill the tank. N minus 3 hours of A and 2 hours of B can fill the tank. Or let's twist it slightly more. A is doing 3 hours less work on Wednesday, which B completes in just 2 hours. Or B is 1.5 times as good as A. Fine. Very simple idea, wonderful idea. B is 1.5 times as good as A. What A would have done in 3 hours, B ends up doing in 2 hours. Fine. Or n by n minus 2 is 3 by 2. The time taken for B should be lesser in the same ratio. 2n equals 3n minus 6, or n equals 6. A takes 6 hours, B takes 4 hours. When A will take 6 hours, B takes 4 hours, or the tank is closed at 2 p.m. When they're together open, they can, in 1 hour, they can fill 1 by 6 plus 1 by 4, which is 2 by 12 plus 3 by 12, or 5 by 12 of the tank, or they can fill the entire tank in 12 by 5 hours, which is 2 hours, and 2 by 5 hours, 2 hours, 24 minutes. Starting from 2 p.m. or they can complete filling this entire tank at 4:24. The breakthrough here is in figuring out that the ratio of efficiency at the rate at which they fill B is to A is 3:2. Once you've done that, the whole question becomes very easy. The more conventional method is to say n minus 3 by n plus 2 by n minus 2 equal to 1. N minus 3 hours at the rate 1 by n per hour. 2 hours at the rate 1 by n minus 2 per hour. Together they fill the tank. Solve this, will inevitably get n as 6, and then we complete it and solve. Let's look at this one. Difference in speed. On a long stretch of east-west road, A and B are on 2 points such that B is 350 kilometers west of A. So B here, A here, 350 kilometers is the distance between B and A. One car starts from A and another from B at the same time. If they move towards each other, then they meet after 1 hour. B, let's say, travels at B kilometers per hour, A travels at A kilometers per hour. They meet in 1 hour, or the relative velocity is A plus B kilometers per hour. the relative distance, this is the relative speed. Relative distance is 350 kilometers. Time taken is 1 hour. So 350 by a plus b equal to 1, or a plus b is 350 kilometers per hour. Wonderful. If they both move towards east, this is west. If both move towards east, that means A is going like this, then they meet in 7 hours. And so B is catching up on A. Once again, the relative distance will be 350 kilometers. The 350 kilometer gap has to be caught up by B. Relative speed is B minus A. B has to be going faster. Only then they'll catch up because they're going east. So 350 by B minus A equal to 7 hours, or B minus A is 50 kilometers per hour. We know that B plus A is 350. We can find B and A, but we are asked for the difference between their speeds in kilometers per hour. Difference between their speeds in kilometers per hour is just B minus A, which is 50 kilometers per hour. The first point is not even needed, only this we needed, and the answer is 50 kilometers per hour. A jar contains a mixture of 175 ml water and 700 ml alcohol. Fine, so alcohol 700 ml and then water is 175. 700 is 4 times 175. The ratio 4:1. Gopal takes out 10% of the mixture and substitutes it by water of the same amount. He takes out 10% of the mixture and substitutes water. The process is repeated once again. The percentage of water in the mixture is now found. In all of these questions, don't track water and alcohol. Remember, 10% is taken out. That means you're going to take out 10% of water, 10% of alcohol. And then water is added. Alcohol is not added. So from alcohol, you're removing 10%. Fine. So first up, chase alcohol. Don't chase water. Think about how much alcohol is there. Second step, think about alcohol retained, not all alcohol removed. What do I mean by that? I'm removing 10% of this mixture. So 10% of alcohol will go away. That means 90% is retained. So when I do it once, the first time we do this, alcohol remaining will be 700 into 90%. One more time we do this into another 90%. We'll retain 90% of whatever alcohol was there. So the amount of alcohol that's going to be remaining is 700 into 9 by 10 into 9 by 10, or 81 into 7 8s are 56, 567. We totally have 875 ml overall mixture. Of this, 567 is alcohol. Remaining 15 minus 7 is 8, 6 minus 6 is 0, 8 minus 5 is 3. 308. Total of 308 should be water. The remaining should be water. So we want the percentage of water in the mixture, that is 308 by 875. That is the percentage. Divide this, find some approximate value, some approximation somewhere, and that's what you're looking for. 308 is 30% of 1000 is 300. Of 875 should be a higher percentage. You're looking for something like this. 35.2% is your answer. 875 into 35 by 100 should give us this. 35 by 100 is a little more than 1/3. 870, 1/3 is 290. So this is 292, 293. This one third of this. That should be slightly more than this. 308 will work out. This is what we are looking at. Fine. Key point here, if you're removing and replacing only one, so chase the part for which you're doing only one action. For alcohol, is only being removed. Water is removed and then added back. So forget water. For alcohol, don't worry about removing and then at each stage think about what is removed. Think about what is being retained. 10% is removed, 90% is retained. So it's a very simple question. The guys who are experienced will just do 700 into 0.9 into 0.9 divided by 875. 100 minus this is the answer. Bam, you can do this in 45 seconds. And that's what you need to be thinking about. Points A and B are 150 kilometers apart. Let's draw this. A here, B here, 150 kilometers. Cars 1 and 2 travel from A to B. But car 2 travels from A when car 1 is already 20 kilometers from A. So car 1 starts first, then car 2 starts. Right? Each car travels at a speed of 100 kilometers per hour for the first 50 kilometers, 50 kilometers per hour for the next 50 kilometers, and 25 kilometers per hour for the last 50 kilometers. The distance in kilometers between car 2 and B when car 1 reaches B is, so car 1 starts, and so for the first 50 kilometers we travel at 100 kilometers per hour. So I'm going to break this into 3 parts. 50, 50, 50. Fine. So when car 1 is 20 kilometers ahead, that is when car 2 begins the journey. When car 1 is 20 kilometers ahead, that's when car 2 begins the journey. Think about this. Car 1 is 20 kilometers away from A. Car 1 travels at a speed of 100 kilometers per hour for the first 50 kilometers. So for the first 20 kilometers, car 1 would have taken 20 by 100 kilometers per hour, which is whatever, 1 by 5 of an hour. Fine, so 12 minutes. Now car 2 starts 12 minutes behind car 1. So car 2 will be 12 minutes behind car 1. Finally, when car 1 reaches here, car 2 will be at a point where it's going to reach in 12 minutes. Right? This is the last stretch. It's traveling at 25 kilometers per hour. Traveling at 25 kilometers per hour and another 12 minutes to reach, or the distance is 25 into 1 by 5. 25 kilometers per hour into 1 by 5, or 5 kilometers. Another way to think about it, a beautiful way to think about it, car 1 takes some amount of time, started some amount of time ahead here. Car 2 has got to travel this leg. The amount of time car 1 travels this 20 kilometers is the amount of time car 2 will have to travel here. Car 1 travels this 20 kilometers at 100 kilometers per hour. Car 2 has to travel this last leg at 25 kilometers per hour. The time taken should be the same, because car 2 is chasing car 1 and it starts car 1 after that time. Their entire journeys are identical. The trips they take is identical. For taking 20, the speed is 4:1. So if you're traveling 20 kilometers here, the gap remaining should be 5 kilometers. The time car 2 takes to travel the last 5 kilometers, it should be equal to the time car A takes to travel the first 20 kilometers. That's the time gap between A and B. Think about it. If car 1, between 1 and 2, if car 1 started say 46 minutes before car 2, car 2 will reach 46 minutes after car 1. They're traveling identical trips. I'm not saying the answer is 46 minutes. I'm saying some t minutes car 1 starts ahead. Car 2 will end exactly t minutes after that. So they're traveling the same distance, the same pattern. Together complete a work in 16 days. Ramesh and Ganesh together can finish in 16 days. After 7 days of working together, Ramesh got sick. So it says 16 days of Ramesh, 16 days of Ganesh can finish this. However, after 7 days, Ramesh got sick. His efficiency fell by 30%. So this is broken Ramesh. Ganesh continues to work as it is. As a result, they completed the work in 17 days. So one more day of broken Ramesh and an extra day of Ganesh. This is required because Ramesh has turned up with a lower efficiency. But they finished it in 17 days. If Ganesh had worked alone after Ramesh got sick, in how many days would he have completed the remaining work? Wonderful. Let's plug this in. The efficiency falls by 30%. Let's say Ramesh brings in X every day. After 7 days, this is a 7-day mark, he brings only 0.7x. Now think about this. To the original schedule of 16 days, there are 9 more days to go. In these 9 days, Ramesh is going to fall short by 2.7x, 0.3 into 9. So the delta, the gap because of drop in efficiency is 2.7x. X is what Ramesh accomplishes in a day. This 2.7x is being compensated by 1 day of Ganesh plus another 0.7 of Ramesh. Because the last day also he works, 17th day also he works, reduced efficiency, but he's still working. Or 2x equal to g, or g is twice as good as r. Now we know if r can finish it in r days, g can finish it in half the time. That much we know. Now we can come back to this equation and then finish it off. And very simple. Now we know that Ganesh is twice as efficient as Ramesh. So therefore we can say if Ramesh takes say k days to finish, Ganesh will take k by 2 days to finish. 1 by k plus 2 by k equals 1 by 16. 3 by k is 1 by 16. K is 48. Ramesh can finish the task in 48 days. Ganesh can finish it in 24 days. If Ganesh had worked alone after Ramesh got sick, so that means in the 7 days, Ramesh would have completed 7 by 48 of the task that he completes. Fine. Ganesh can on each day can do 1 by 24 of the task. The task to be completed is 41 by 48. So 41 by 48 needs to be done by Ganesh completely. Only 7 by 48 is done by Ramesh. Ganesh can do 1 by 24 in 1 day. Or totally he'll have to do 41 by 48 into 24 by 1. That many days he will take. Or 41 by 2, 20.5 days totally. So he'll finish in 20.5 days. If Ganesh had worked alone after Ramesh got sick, that means Ramesh has worked for 7 days. After 7 days, Ramesh disappears. So 20.5 is when Ganesh would have finished it. Minus 7. 20 minus 7 is 13, 13.5. That's what you're looking for. So Ganesh puts in total of 20.5. Ramesh puts in total of 7 days. This much of Ganesh and this much of Ramesh, they would have finished the entire task. And so after Ramesh disappears, Ganesh has to put 13.5 more days of effort. The moment we find that Ganesh is equal to twice Ramesh, we are through. This question becomes very simple. Exam scores. The scores of Amal and Bimal in examination are in the ratio 11:14. So I'm going to take 11x and 14x. After an appeal, their scores increased by the same amount and their new scores are in the ratio 47:56. 11x plus a, 14x plus a. This ratio is 47:56. So 11x plus a into 56 is 14x plus a into 47. This is a. 11 into 56 is 616x plus 56a. 14 into 7 is 98, 8, 9, 56 plus 9, 65, 658x plus 47a. 56a minus 47a is 658 minus 616, which is 42x. Or 9a equals 42x. 3a equals 14x. A is 14x by 3. The ratio of Bimal's new score to that of his original score. Bimal's new score is 14x plus a. Original score is 14x. A is 14x by 3. 14x plus 14x by 3 by 14x. 1 plus 1 by 3 by 1 or this is nothing but 4 by 3. We're looking for an answer choice of 4:3. And very methodical question, there's nothing here. 11:14, 11x, 14x, add an A, solve for A in terms of x, and then we are through. Inlet and outlet pipes. A water tank has inlet of two types, A and B. All inlets of type A when open bring in water at the same rate. All inlets of type B when open bring in water at the same rate. The empty tank is completely filled in 30 minutes if 10 of type A and 45 of type B are filled. We're going to assume A is the rate at which pipe A fills, inlet A fills, B is the rate at which pipe B fills. 10A plus 45B, together they fill in 30 minutes, or in 1 minute they fill 1 by 30 of the tank. And in 1 hour, if 8 inlets of type A and 18 inlets of type B are open, so 8A plus 18B will give us a 1 by 60. And in how many minutes will the empty tank get completely filled if 7 inlets of type A and 27 inlets of type B are open? Let's simplify this, get A and B, plug it in here and get to the answer. So 2A plus 45B we can divide by 5. 2A plus 9B is 1 by 150. Again divide, here we can divide by 2. 4A plus 9B is 1 by 120. We subtract one from the other. 2A equals 1 by 120 minus 1 by 150. 5 by 600 minus 4 by 600, which is 1 by 600. Or A is 1 by 1200. 2A plus 9B is 1 by 150. 1 by 600 plus 9B is 4 by 600. 1 by 150 is 4 by 600. Or 9B is 3 by 600. Or 1 by 200. Or B is 1 by 1800. We've got A, we've got B. All we have got to do is plug into this equation and then we are through. 7 times 1 by 1200 plus 27 times 1 by 1800, whatever that is. 27 by this is 3 by 200. This is 7 by 1200 into 18, sorry, plus 18 by 1200, which is 25 by 1200. I'm just taking the LCM as 1200. Divide by 5, 5 by 240 or 1 by 48. This system fills 1/48 of the tank in 1 minute, or it will take 48 minutes to completely fill the tank. Answer is 48. Gopal borrows rupees X from Ankit at 8% annual interest. He then adds rupees Y of his own money and lends X plus Y to Ishan at 10% annual interest. At the end of the year, after returning Ankit's dues, so from Ankit, Gopal borrows X, then he adds Y and then gives X plus Y to Ishan. On this, the rate is 8%. On this, the rate is 10%. After returning Ankit's dues, the net interest retained by Gopal is the same as that accrued to Ankit. So he gives 8% of X. He gets 10% of X plus 10% of Y. Remaining will be 2% of X plus 10% of Y. This is same as 8% of X. That's what this question is saying. Interest accrued to Ankit is 8% of X. What Gopal would have got is 10% of X plus 10% of Y, of which 8% of X is given away. Remaining 2% of X plus 10% of Y is 8% of X, or 6% of X is 10% of Y. 3X equals 5Y. On the other hand, had Gopal lent X plus 2Y to Ishan at 10%, then the net interest retained by him would have increased by rupees 150. Instead of X plus Y, he now lends X plus 2Y. So the additional Y at 10% gets him an additional interest of 150, or y is rupees 1500. 5y equals 3x. 5 into 1500 is 3 into x. X is 5 into 500, 2500. Find the value of x plus y, that is 2500 rupees plus 1500 rupees, which is 4000. The arithmetic mean of x, y and z is 80, or x plus y plus z is 240. The arithmetic mean of x, y, z, u and v, or x plus y plus z plus u plus v equals 75 into 5, 375. Or u plus v is 375 minus 240, which is 135. Where u is x plus y by 2 and v is y plus z by 2. Then the minimum possible value of x is, what is the minimum possible value of x? So u plus v, so x plus y by 2 plus y plus z by 2 equals 135, or x plus y plus z by 2 plus y by 2 is 135. X plus y plus z by 2 is 120. 120 plus y by 2 is 135, or y by 2 is 15, y is 30. Wonderful. So x plus y plus z is 240, x plus z then is 210. X is greater than or equal to z. So x is greater than or equal to z. So x is greater than or equal to z. The minimum possible value of x, x min is 105. The best case scenario is when x is equal to z. When x is equal to z, x will be 105 and z will be 105. Y is 30, u and v, we can find all this. So the minimum value of x is 105. When they work alone, B needs 25% more time to finish a job than A does. So if A takes 4x days, B will take 5x days to finish the job. They too finish the job in 13 days in the following manner. A works alone till half the job is done. So half the job is done, A works alone. So A works alone for 2x days. Then A and B work together for 4 days. So A and B for 4 days. And finally, B works alone to complete the remaining 5% of the job. B does 5% of the job. And wonderful question, because the definitions are very different. It says half the job, 5% of the job, and then they work together for 4 days. And a wonderful question. So A and B together, if they are working in one day, they'll finish 1 by 4x plus 1 by 5x. This is what they can complete in one day. Right? So A works for 2x days, and then A and B work for 4 days, and then B does 5% of the job working alone. It's a wonderful question. B completes for 5% of the job working all alone. Remember, B takes 5x days to complete the entire job. To complete 5% of the job, B will take 5x into 5%, 5x into 1 by 20, which is x by 4. So B works for x by 4 days, A works for 2x days, and then A and B together work for 4 days. And so 2x days plus 4 days plus x by 4 days is 13. 2x plus x by 4 is 9, or this is 8 plus 4 plus 1. Fine. So x is 4, that much we have got. So A should take 16 days, B should take 20 days. A wonderful question, because the way of defining this, it says x takes half the job, and then A and B together take 4 days, and then B does 5% of the job in the working alone. And so it's a wonderful question, because it can be kind of rephrased. The phrasing is very interesting. Right? Finally, the answer: in how many days can B alone finish the entire job? 20 days. John borrowed 2,10,000 from a bank at an interest rate of 10% per annum, compounded annually. The loan was repaid in 2 installments, the first after 1 year, the second after another year. The first installment was interest of 1 year plus part of the principal amount, while the second was the rest of the principal amount plus interest thereon. So 210,000 year 1 and year 2. To start with, 210,000 at the end of year 1 will become 210,000 into 1.1. That will be the amount outstanding. And so 10% interest. At the end of year 2, this should have become 210 into 1.1 whole square. But what do? We end up paying x. We repay x. What is this? So what is remaining is 210,000 into 1.1 minus x. Now this amount accrues an interest over the second year. So at the end of year 2, we'll have to repay 210,000 into 1.1 minus x into 1.1. This number, we're being told, is equal to x, because we're paying in 2 equal installments. So 210,000 into 1.1 minus x into 1.1. 11 ones are 11, 1. 11 twos are 22, 23, 2, 31. 2,31,000 minus x into 1.1 equals x. So let's write down this equation. 231,000 minus x into 1.1 equals x. 11 ones are 11, 11 threes 33, 34, 4, 3, 22 plus 3, 25. 2,54,100 minus 1.1x equals x. 254100 equals 2.1x. So let's divide by 3 first. This will become 0.7. This is 8. 14 would be 4. And 21 would be 7. 0. So x equals 84,700 by 0.7. 84 by 7 is 121,000. 1,21,000. From 2,10,000, this becomes 2,31,000. We repay 1,21,000. 1,10,000. That becomes 1.1 times of that, which is 1,21,000. These two are equal, or each installment is worth 1,21,000. Point P lies between points A and B such that the length of BP is thrice that of AP. So A and B. BP is thrice that of AP, or P is close to A. P is somewhere here. If this distance were x, this distance is 3x. Car 1 starts from A and moves towards B. Car 1 is moving like this. Simultaneously, car 2 starts from B and moves towards A. Car 2 this way, simultaneously at the same time. Car 2 reaches P 1 hour after car 1 reaches P. Car 2 reaches P 1 hour after car 1 reaches P. So car 1 takes time t, car 2 takes time t plus 1. If the speed of car 2 is half that of car 1, car 1 speed, let it be u. Then car 2 speed is u by 2, half of that. Then the time in minutes taken by car 1 in reaching P from A is, so we need to find T. We need to find T in minutes. Fine. Written this down as T plus 1 hour. So it is written as T hours, but we need to find this in minutes. Wonderful. You're traveling X at a speed of U. So this leg, time taken would be X by U. You're traveling 3X at the speed of U by 2. It will be 3X by U by 2, which is 6X by U. So if this takes time T, technically this should take time 60. Or we are practically through with this question. Car C1 takes time T. Car C2 should take time 60. But we've been given this is T plus 1 hour, or 6T equals T plus 60 minutes. If I'm thinking of T in terms of minutes, or 5T equals 60 minutes, T is 12 minutes. So car A takes 12 minutes to reach the point. Car B takes 72 minutes to reach the point. 12 into 6 is 72. 72 minus 12 is 60 minutes, which is 1. In an examination, the maximum possible score is N. So max is N. On the pass mark is 45% of N. A candidate obtains 36 marks but falls short of the pass mark by 65%. By 68%, sorry, not 65%, falls short by 68%. So this 36 falls short of 45% of N by 68%, or this 36 is 32% of 45% of N. It falls short by 68%, or you take this number, reduce it by 68%, we'll get this. If you reduce something by 68%, it becomes 32% of whatever it was. This number is 36. With this, we can find N, and then we can see what we need to answer. Like in this case, the question asks us for something about N. So let's find N. 32 by 100 into 45 by 100 into N is 36. This is 9, 8, 45, 5. 8 into 5 is 40, which is 2 by 5. 2 by 100 is 50. 50 into 5 is 250. N is 250. So we've got a specific value of N. So these choices should be much simpler. It's not less than or equal to 200. It does lie between 243 and 252 inclusive. It's not this. It's not this. N is equal to 250. A wholesaler bought walnuts and peanuts. The price of walnut per kilogram being thrice that of peanut per kilogram. Fine. So walnut, peanuts. This is X per kilogram. This is 3X per kilogram. He then sold 8 kg of peanuts at a profit of 10%. So he sells this at 1.1x and he sells 8 kilograms of it. And 16 kilograms of walnut at a profit of 20% to a shopkeeper. From 3x, 20% profit, 3.6x, 16 kilogram. However, the shopkeeper lost 5 kg of walnuts and 3 kg of peanuts in transit. From 8 and 16, 5 of walnuts he loses and 3 of peanuts he loses. He then mixed the remaining nuts and sold the mixture at rupees 166 per kilogram. Wonderful. He mixes, so I don't need to care how much of this is there. 11 plus 5 is 16, or from 24 we lose 8. He sells 16 kilograms at 166 per kilogram. Right. And he makes a profit of 25%. So this is the selling price. There should have been some cost price. I'm talking about the transaction of the shopkeeper. For the shopkeeper, there is some cost price and some selling price. Profit of 25%. Selling price is this. If cost price were CP, then selling price is 5 by 4 CP. 5 by 4 CP is this number. What is cost price? Cost price is how much he spends in buying this. He buys 16 kilograms at 3.6x, 8 kilograms at 1.1x. So 3.6 into 16, 3.6x into 16 plus 1.1 into 8 into x. This whole thing into 5 by 4 is 16 into 166. Solve this methodically, thoroughly, we are through. So I'm going to write this down. 3.6x into 16 plus 8.8x, the whole thing into 5 by 4 equals 166 into 16. 6 16s are 96, 6 9 16 3s are 48, 57.6 plus 8.8, sorry 8.8 into 5 equals 4 into 166 into 16. 4 8 plus 6 is 14, 4 9 plus 7 is 16, 6 1 66.4 into 5 is 64 into 166. 5 4s are 20, 0 2 32, 2 3 3 32 equals 64 into 166 and 332x. That's the next sitting here. Wonderful. So far so good. This is just 2 or x is 32. At what price in rupees per kilogram did the wholesaler buy the walnuts? The price of walnuts is 3x, x is 32, 3x is 96. Find out. A tricky question because we're talking about two different things, two different profit percentages, two different quantities, and then something goes wrong, and then there's the reminding he sells at a price to get to a profit. Conceptually, nothing here, but layer after layer after layer of keeping details in mind, making sure you get all the percentages and decimals and fractions really right. It's a classic question because if you want to get percentage in profit and loss right, you want to consolidate that. Is a brilliant question. If you get this right, you can get pretty much any question on this topic right, but it's still going to be time consuming and it's tough. Humans and robots can both perform a job but at different efficiencies. You can imagine that. 15 humans and 5 robots working together take 30 days to finish a job. 15 humans and 5 robots, they take 30 days, or in one day they finish 1/30th of the job. I'm using H as a proxy for how much a human can do in a day, whereas 5 humans and 15 robots working together will take 60 days to finish it. You have more robots and fewer humans, the exact same overall number, you take longer to finish it. So human better than robo. Score 1 for Homo sapiens. How many days will 15 humans working together take to finish it? Wonderful question, very simple question. So 15h plus 5r is 1 by 30, 5h plus 15r is 1 by 60. Find h, find 15h, what will that correspond to? You've got your answer. And so I'm going to divide this equation by 5. 3h plus r is 1 by 50. h plus 3r is 1 by 300. This is 1 by 150, this is 1 by 300. We want to eliminate r and retain h. And so multiply this by 3. 3 times this is 3 by 150. 9h plus 3r is 1 by 50. h plus 3r is 1 by 300. Subtract this. 8 times h is 1 by 50 minus 1 by 300, or 6 by 300 minus 1 by 300, which is 5 by 300 or 1 by 60. 8h equals 1 by 60. h equals 1 by 60 into 8. 15 times h is 15 by 60 into 8, which is 1 by 4 or 1 by 32. 15 humans together can do 1 by 32 of the task in a day, or 15 humans working together can finish it in 32 days. 2 trains traveling. Train T leaves station X for Y at 3 p.m. X to Y. Train T at 3 p.m. Train S, traveling at 3/4 of the speed of T, leaves Y for X at 4 p.m. Train S this way, 4 p.m. This traveling at 3/4 the speed of T, something this is going to travel at 4v, This travels at 3v. I don't want to deal with 1 and 3 by 4 or 0.75. 4v and 3v work just fine. The two trains pass each other at a station Z, where the distance between x and z is 3/5 of that between x and y. So x to z is 3/5 of that between x and y. So if this is 3d, this is 2d. If overall distance were 5d, this is 3d. Remaining should be 2d. It starts at 4, this starts at 3. And so think about this. To travel this 3d distance, the time taken would have been 3d by 4v. It would have been 2d by 3v. Now, this starts at 4 o'clock, so it travels for a shorter time than this. And so this travels for t hours, this travels only for t minus 1 hours. This number is 1 less than this. 3d by 4v minus 1 equals 2d by 3v. This much we know. How many hours does the train T take for its journey from x to y? X to y, the distance is 5d. The speed is 4v. 5d by 4v. This is what we need to find. This is what we know. And so, if we find d by v, we are through. I'm going to call d by v as k. 3 by 4k minus 2 by 3k equals 1. Or LCM is 12. 9k minus 8k by 12 is 1. Or k is 12. The time taken is 5 by 4 times 12, which is 3 into 5, 15 hours. Wonderful question. Nice, simple question. Make sure that you choose your variables right. This is 3/5, this is 3d, 2d works better than calling it x and 3 by 5x. This is 3/4 of the speed. Having it as 4v and 3v is better than having it as x and 0.75x. Simplify the numbers, life becomes that little bit easier. Raju and Lalita originally had marbles in the ratio of 4:9. Raju, Lalita, 4:9, 4x, 9x. Then Lalita gave some of her marbles to Raju. That means Raju will end up having some more, Lalita will have some less. Let's say Lalita gives a marbles to Raju. As a result, the ratio of the number of marbles with Raju to that of Lalita becomes 5:6. What fraction of her original number of marbles was given by Lalita to Raju? She gave away a out of 9x, or we are looking to find a by 9x. We know that 4x plus a by 9x minus a is 5/6. We want to find a by 9x. I'm going to divide by x throughout. 4 plus a by x by 9 minus a by x equals 5/6. Let's say a by x is k. We want to find k by 9. So let's simplify this. 4 plus k by 9 minus k is 5/6. We want to find k by 9. K is a by x. We want to find a by 9x. 24 plus 6k equals 45 minus 5k. 6k plus 5k is 45 minus 24. 11k is 21. K is 21 by 11. What we need to find is 21 by 11 into 1 by 9. 21 by 11 by 9. 7, 3. Or we're looking at 7 by 33. Meena scores 40% in an examination, and after review, even though her score is increased by 50%, she fails by 35 marks. She scores 40%. Her score is increased by 50%. So she will reach 60%. Remember that. 50% of 40%. Half of 40% is 20%. 40% of the total increased by 50%. She'll go to 60%. She still fails by 35 marks. So let's say this is a pass mark. She fails by 35. If her post-review score is increased by 20%, she will have 7 marks more than the passing score. It's jacked up here by 20%. 20% of what? 20% of 60%. 20% is 1 by 5. 1/5 of 60% is 12%. So this will go to 72%. If we go there, then she crosses the passing mark by 7. the percentage score needed for passing the exam. So what is this pass mark? What is the percentage required for that? 60% to 72%. This distance is 42 marks, which is 12%. Right? So with this, we can find how much each percentage stands for. Right? We don't even have to do that. We know that this ratio is 5:1. So 60% to 72%, the difference 12% can be broken as 10% and 2%. I just need the ratio. From 60%, you add 10%, you go to 70%. From here, you add 2%, you go to 72%. The overall 12% is broken in the ratio 35:7 or 10:2, 5:1, or the pass percentage should have been 70%. Pass percentage. In a class, 60% of the students are girls. 60% are girls and the rest are boys. I'm finding a very interesting joke coming here. Rest is 40%. The jokes are for another time. There are 30 more girls than boys. 30 more girls than boys. That's a big giveaway. 20% more girls than boys. 20% of total. 20% is 30 or 100%. Overall total is 5 times this, 150. Or there are 150 people in this classroom. 60% is 3/5 of that. 90 are girls, 60 are boys. If 68% of the students, that is 68 by 100 into 150, including 30 boys, pass an examination. So 68 by 100 to 150, 15 by 10 is 3 by 2. 68 by 2 is 34. 34 into 2 is 102. 102 pass an exam, of which 30 are boys. So how many would be girls? The remaining 72 would be girls. The percentage of girls who do not pass, there are 90 girls. 72 pass, or 18, the remaining do not pass. So what is the percentage that do not pass? 18 by 90 as a percentage. 1/5 as a percentage. 1 by 5 into 20. This is 20%. 20% of the girls do not pass this exam. Out of 90 girls, 18 do not pass. That is 20%. A person invested a total amount of rupees 15 lakhs. A part of it was invested in a fixed deposit earning 6%. The remaining amount was invested in 2 other deposits in the ratio 2:1, earning annual interest at the rate of 4% and 3%. If the total annual interest income is 76,000, then the amount invested in fixed deposit was in rupees lakhs. Let's say X lakhs is invested here. Then 15 minus X is invested there. Wonderful. So what will be invested at this percent? 2/3 of 15 minus X. At this level, at 3%, is 1/3 of 15 minus X. We are through. 6% of X plus 2/3 of 15 minus X into 4% plus 1/3 of 15 minus X into 3% equals 76,000. But remember, this is in lakhs, that is in 1000. We need to simplify that. I'm going to rewrite this expression. 6% of X plus 2/3 of 15 minus X into 4% plus 1/3 of 15 minus X into 3% equals 0.76 L, or 6 times X. I'm going to multiply by 100 plus 2/3 of 15 minus X into 4 plus 1/3 of 15 minus X into 3 equals 76. Simplify this and we can find X. And so let's say we expand this. This is 15 minus X into 8 by 3 plus 1. 6X plus 15 minus X into 11 by 3. 2 into 4 is 8. 8 by 3. This is 1. 8 by 3 plus 1 is 11 by 3 equals 76. Or 6X plus 15 into 11, 165. 6X into 3, 15 into 11 minus 11x equals 76 into 3. So 165 plus 18x minus 11x equals 6 3s are 18, 8 1, 21 plus 1, 22, 228. Or 7x equals 228 minus 165. 3, 12 minus 6 is 6, 63. 7x equals 63, x is 9. Or 9 lakhs are deposited in fixed deposit. Remaining 6 lakhs is deposited in this ratio at 4 and 3% to generate an interest of this. Once you frame the equation, the solving part is still time consuming and tough, but not impossible. Ramesh and Goutham are among 22 students who write an examination. Ramesh scores 82.5. The average score of the 21 students other than Goutham is 62. So A1, A2 till A22. Here there is a Ramesh and a Goutham. So all minus Goutham is 21 into 62. And whatever that number comes out to. Ramesh scored 82.5. The average score of all the 22 students is one more than average score of 21 students other than Ramesh. All 22, that's an average score, is one more than. So when Ramesh goes away, the 22 students have an average. From here, Ramesh leaves. Then the average falls. And the average score of all the 22 students is one more than average score of the 21 students other than Ramesh. So when 22 students are there and Ramesh leaves, the average falls. Right? So Ramesh is taking out more than the average. Ramesh scores 82.5. He's taking out more than the average. How much more than the average? 21 more than the average. How so? Because once, if he had taken just the average, the remaining would have been same. He's taking more than the average. How many more than the average? 21 minus the average. Or average is 82.5 minus 21. 0.5, 1, 61.5. And overall average is 61.5. Brilliant. Everyone minus Goutham's score is 21 into 62. Everyone is 61.5 into 22. Or Goutham's score 61.5 into 22 minus 21 into 62. 61.5 into 2 is 123 into 11 minus 21 into 62. 123 into 11. 3, 3, 22 plus 3, 25, 5, 2, 11 plus 2, 13, 1, 3, 5, 3. And then 21 into 62. 62, 124, 2, 10, 0, 1, 3. 1, 3, 0, 2. Subtracted from this, Goutham's score should be 51. The income of Amala is 20% more than that of Bimala and 20% less than that of Kamala. Amala, Bimala, Kamala. So Bimala, and let's say Bimala is here. If Bimala is B, Amala is 1.2 B. And 20% less than that of Kamala. Kamala is K. This is 0.8 K. 0.8 K equals 1.2 B. Or 2K is 3B. K is 3 by 2 B. 1.5 B. So B, 1.2 B, 1.5 B. Wonderful. If Kamala's income goes down by 4% and Bimala's goes up by 10%, then the percentage by which Kamala's income would exceed Bimala's income is nearest to. Bimala's goes up by 10%. So Bimala's new income would be 1.1 B. Kamala's goes down by 4%. 1.5 into 4 by 100. This 1.5 into 4 is 6. 6 by 100. 0.06. is equal to 0.06. Subtract that, you get 1.44b. Now it's very simple. Now Kamala's income is 1.44b. Bimala's is 1.1b. How much is it higher by? The delta is 0.34b. Percentage it is higher by is 0.34 by 1.1 into 100. 34 by 1.1. And how do we find that? 340 by 11. Goes 3 times 33, 1, 0. 0 times 100. 30.999. 30.9 something percent. 31%. The chemist mixes 2 liquids 1 and 2. 1 liter of liquid 1 weighs 1 kg. Liquid 1 liter equals 1 kg. Liquid 2 1 liter weighs 800 grams. If half liter of the mixture weighs 480 grams, then the percentage of liquid 1 in the mixture in terms of volume is half a liter. Let's say, so 500 liters is 500 ml is 500 grams. 1 ml correspond to 1 gram. Let's say we have x ml of this. This will be x grams. Wonderful. Half a liter of the mixture weighs 480 grams. So x ml measures this. Half a liter. 500 minus x ml. How much would this measure? 1000 liters, 1 ml measures 0.8 grams. 500 minus x will be 500 minus x into 0.8. X plus 400 minus 0.8x. I'm calculating the total mass. 500 minus x into 0.8 plus x. This is equal to 480. X minus 0.x is 0.2x. 480 minus 400 is 80. 0.2x is 80 grams. Or x is 80 into 5, 400. Wonderful. So now x is 400. We've got this going. So this should have 400 ml of the first one, 100 ml of the second one. Then the percentage of liquid 1 in the mixture in terms of volume. Liquid 1 in the mixture in terms of volume. 400 by 500. Overall volume is half a liter. 400 is first one. 400 by 500 as a percentage. 4 by 5 is 80%. The beauty in this question is we're talking about volume and weight. We're converting liters, linking liters and kilograms. 3 men and 8 machines can finish a job in half the time taken. 3 men and 8 machines can finish the job in half the time taken by 3 machines and 8 men. So this is, I'm going to call machines as robos. So the variable becomes simple. 3 robos and 8 machines. And if 3 men plus 8 are 3 men and 8 machines is twice as efficient as 3 robos and 8 machines. Or 3m plus 8r is 6r plus 16m. 2r equals 13m. Or each row is as good as 13 by 2 men. If 2 machines can finish a job in 13 days, 2 robos can finish the job in 13 days. 2 robos is same as 13 men that we have seen. So 2 robos can finish in 13 days. 13 men can finish it in 13 days. How many men can finish the job in 13 days? 13. Done. 2 machines can finish a job in 13 days. And how many men can finish the same job in 13 days? 13 men. Each robo is as good as 13 by 2 men. So 2 robos can be replaced with 13 men. If these 2 robos can finish in 13 days, 13 men can finish it in 13 days. In a race of 3 horses, the first beat the second by 11 meters and the third by 90 meters. The first completes the race. Second loses by 11 meters. The third loses by 90 meters. The second beat the third by 80 meters. Wonderful. The second beat the third by 80 meters. So the first A, B, C. Now this difference 79 meters. But the second beat the third by 80 meters. What does that mean? That means by the time the second finishes the race, he's got 1 more meter gained over the third. So I'm going to think about only this component. This 11 meter, when B travels 11 meters, C travels only 10, because his lead B to C increases by a meter in the last 11 meters. Right? So when B travels 11, C travels 10. That much we know. The second beat the third by 80 meters. The ratio is 11x is to 10x. X is 80, or 11x should be 880 meters. So it's a race of 880 meters. Just classic ratios, nothing but A, B, C. When A finishes the race, B is 11 meters behind, C is 90 meters behind. Or B has a lead of 79 meters over C. But by the time B finishes, B has a lead of 80 meters. That is, when B finishes this 11 meters, C travels only 10 more. Or when B travels 11, C travels 10. So if B travels 11x, C travels 10x, the difference is x. This is 80 meters, or the race length should be 880 meters. The wheels of bicycles A and B have radii 30 and 40 centimeters respectively. While traveling a certain distance, each wheel of A required 5,000 more revolutions than each wheel of B. If bicycle B travels this distance in 45 minutes, then its speed in kilometers per hour was. Wheels of A have 30 radius, B has 40. Fine. While traveling a certain distance, each wheel of A required 5,000 more revolutions than each wheel of B. Right? Just think about this. The circumference are in the ratio 3:4. And so now this is the amount in each revolution. That means to travel the same distance, the number of revolutions should be in the ratio 4:3. Remember, if you're doing 1 meter per revolution, you have a certain number of revolutions required. If you do 2 meters per revolution, you can do it in half the number of revolutions. For the same distance, if circumference the ratio 3:4, then the number of revolutions should be in the ratio 4:3. The exact opposite, because the distance is the same. Now the number of revolutions in the ratio 4:3, A to B, number of revolutions in the ratio 4:3. Each wheel of A required 5,000 more revolutions than each wheel of B. And if this is N, this is N plus 5,000. The difference is 5,000. Or this is 20,000. This is 15,000. 4:3, the difference is 1. If this is 5,000, this is 5,000 into 4, 5,000 into 3. Right. Brilliant. We've got this. So now we know that this vehicle B, bicycle B, does 15,000 revolutions in 45 minutes. And how much does it travel in each revolution? That is 2 pi r. 2 into pi into 40 centimeters into 15,000. This is a distance traveled. Time taken is 3/4 hours. And so, or 2 into pi into 40 centimeters. And so, or 0.4 meters into 15,000 into 4/3 kilometers per hour. By 3, make it 5,000. The answer is in meters. Remove this, it will become kilometers. Or 2 into pi into 0.4 into 5 into 4 kilometers per hour. 0.4 is 2 by 5. The 5 and 5 get cancelled. 2 pi into 2 into 4. 2 into 2 into 4 is 16. 16 pi kilometers per hour. Brilliant. We know the ratio. The ratio of circumference will be inverse of the ratio of number of revolutions required. So revolutions required by A and B to travel in the ratio 4:3. A requires 5,000 more, or A travels 20,000, B travels 15,000. So 15,000 revolutions in this wheel of radius 40 centimeters has been completed in 45 minutes. So we can find the total distance traveled by total time. We got the answer. 16 pi kilometers per hour. It's a frightfully high speed, probably a speed that cannot be achieved on a bicycle. So this is a theoretical question. Such is life. Product of two positive numbers is 16. A into B, sorry, it's not 16, 616. The ratio of the difference of their cubes to the cube of their difference, A cube minus B cube by A minus B whole cube, is 157 by 3. And what is A plus B? And the sum of the two numbers, what is that equal to? Brilliant. So let's say AB is 616. I'm going to write this as A minus B into A square plus AB plus B square by A minus B whole cube is 157 by 3. So 1 get cancelled, become A minus B whole square is 157 by 3. We know A into B is 616. So we can restructure this and say A square plus AB plus B square by A square minus 2AB plus B square is 157 by 3, or A square minus 2AB plus B square plus 3AB by A square minus 2AB plus B square is 157 by 3. Why have I written like this? Numerator is equal to denominator. This is 1, or 3AB by A minus B whole square is 157 by 3 minus 1 is 154 by 3. AB is 616. Let's work with that. So 3 into 616 by A minus B whole square is 154 by 3. 616, 154, 616 by 154 is 4. Or A minus B whole square is 3 into 3 into 4. A minus B, this is 36, the square root of this plus or minus 6. We've assumed A to be larger, therefore it is 6. So we got A minus B is 6. A into B is 616. So we can solve a quadratic and get this. But the numbers are all integers. Let's see if we can guess this. 616 can be factorized. So it's divisible by 4. So it's 154 into 4. This is 77 into 8. A multiple of 7. So divide this by 7. 11 into 56. Multiply by 2. 22 into 28. We've got a winner. 22 into 28 is 616. 28 minus 22 is 6. 28 plus 22 is 50. We're dealing only with positive numbers. We don't have to worry about a minus 28 into minus 22 and all of that stuff. We can forget about that. Time required. At their usual efficiency levels, A and B together finish a task in 12 days. If A takes A days, B takes B days, they'll do 1 by A of the task plus 1 by B of the task in 1 day, or 1/12 of the task, because they finished the whole thing in 12 days. If A worked half as efficiently as he usually does, 1 by 2A, half of 1 by A, and B worked thrice as efficiently, 3 by B, task gets completed in 1 by 9. How many days would A take to finish the task if she works alone at her usual efficiency? Eliminate B, you're through. How do you eliminate B? Multiply this equation by 3. Become 3 by A, 3 by B, 3 by 12. And then subtract. 3 by 12 is nothing but 1 by 4. We'll get 3 by B multiply by 3, 3 by a minus 1 by 2a is 1 by 4 minus 1 by 9. This will disappear. 3 by a minus 1 by 2a, that is 6 by 2a minus 1 by 2a equals 9 by 36 minus 4 by 36, or 5 by 2a equals 5 by 36. 2a is 36 or a is 18. A alone at usual efficiency will take 18 days to finish it. Amal, Bina and Gauri, A, B and G invest money in the ratio 3:4:5. In fixed deposits, having respective annual rates in the ratio 6:5:4. And the amount invested is in this ratio, interest are in the ratio. This is amount, this is interest. What is their total interest income if Bina's interest income exceeds Amala's by 250? A very simple question if you get the funda. Interest income is proportional to amount invested. It is proportional to interest rate. It will be proportional to product of these two, or their interest income will be in the ratio 18:20:20. Bina's interest income exceeds Amala's by 250. So think about it in unit terms. This 2, the difference, corresponds to 250. What is the total? Total is 18 plus 20 plus 20, 58. What does that correspond to? 2 corresponds to 250. 58, what does it correspond to? 2 into 29 is 58. 250 into 29 is what we need to find. 250 into 29. 0 in the end. That's easy. 5 9s are 45. 5 4. 5 2s are 10. 10 plus 4 14. 145. 58 0 5 2 1 7250. Classic ratio question. If A is proportional to B, A is proportional to C, A is linked to B into C. If A is proportional to B, A is proportional to C, A is inversely proportional to D, then A is linked with BC by D. That's the idea we are using here. Very routine, very simple question if you just get ratios. One can use 3 different transports which move at 10, 20 and 30 km per hour respectively to reach from A to B. Amal took each mode of transport for 1/3 of his total journey time. Total journey time. So 10 kilometers per hour, 20 kilometers per hour, 30 kilometers per hour. 1/3 of his total journey time. Time T, time T, time T. While Bimal took each mode of transport for 1/3 of the total distance. 1/3 of D, 1/3 of D, 1/3 of D. If you travel at time T at 3 different speeds, the distances would be in the ratio 1:2:3. The percentage by which, this is Amal, this is Bimal. Bimal's travel time exceeds Amal's travel time. Let's make life simple. The distance should be a multiple of, if it's a multiple of 6 and 3, life is simple. So I'm going to assume the total distance is 60 kilometers. And it travels 20 kilometers, 20 kilometers, 20 kilometers, or 10, 20, 30 kilometers. And 10 kilometers at 10 kilometers per hour, 1 hour. 20 kilometers at 20 kilometers per hour, 1 hour. 30 kilometers at 30 kilometers per hour, 1 hour. 20 kilometers at 10 kilometers per hour, 2 hours. 20 at 20, 1 hour. 20 at 30 kilometers per hour, 20 by 30, 2 by 3 hours. Amal took 3 hours. Bimal took 2 by 3 hours. Extra time is 2/3 of an hour. The percentage by which Bimal's travel time exceeds. The difference is 2/3 of an hour. Percentage increase is 2/3 of an hour upon 3 hours into 100. Which is 2 by 9 into 100. 2 by 9 as a percentage is 22%. Give or take 22% is the number you're looking for. It helps if you assume a total distance value. and if you assume it as 60 kilometers, life becomes very simple. So wonderful question, delightful question, simple question. And so what we're trying to do here is to make sure that the times are this, so the distances will be in the ratio of their speeds. So 1:2:3, make the total distance a multiple of 6. Here the distances are equal. Total distance should be a multiple of 3. Multiple of 6, multiple of 3, 60 kilometers works well, and then you're done. Total surface area. A man makes complete use of 405 centimeter cube of iron, 783 centimeter cube of aluminium, and 351 centimeter cube of copper to make a number of solid right circular cylinders of each type of metal. And so he makes some iron, some aluminium, and some copper. And these cylinders have the same volume, and each of these has a radius of 3 centimeters. Volume of V, radius for each of 3 centimeters. If the total number of cylinders is to be kept at a minimum, then the total surface area of all these in square centimeter. Total, see, suppose each of these has the same volume. Let's say there are K of these, L of these, and M of these. Total volume of all iron cylinders put together would be kV. This would be LV. This would be MV. Or this is equal to K into V, equal to L into V, equal to M into V. Or V, the volume of each cylinder, is a factor of 405, 783, and 351. The total number of cylinders is to be kept at a minimum, then V should be as high as possible. What does that mean? V should be a common factor of these numbers. It should be the largest possible such common factor. Or V is the HCF of 405, 783, and 351. This is a multiple of 9. This is a multiple of 9. This is a multiple of 9. 7 plus 8, 15 plus 3, 18. 8 plus 1, 9. 4 plus 5, 9. So we can carve out a 9. This is 9 into 45. Here also we can carve out a 9. 9 into 87. Here again we can carve out a 9. 9 into 39. 45, 87, 39. Each of these is a multiple of 3 once again. So we can take a further 3 into this. So 405 can be written as 27 into 15. 783 could be 27 into 29. 357 would be 27 into 13. Brilliant. So HCF is 27. We've got this far. Right? So the volume of each cylinder should be 27 centimeter cube. It means pi r square height should be 27. Pi into 3 square into height should be 27. This is 3, or height should be 3 by pi. Radius is 3, height is 3 by pi. The total number of then the total surface area of all these cylinders, surface area of one cylinder, is 2 pi r square plus 2 pi r h. Pi r square on top, pi r square on bottom, 2 pi r h. R is 3, h is 3 by pi. Fine, let's do this. 2 into pi into 3 square plus 2 into pi into 3 into h, we recognize is 3 by pi. This is 2 into 3 square. 2 into 9, 18 pi plus 2 into 3, 2 pi into 3 into 3, 18 pi plus 18. And so this is the volume of each cylinder. How many cylinders are there? There will be 15 plus 29 plus 13. 13 plus 29 is 42 plus 15 is 57. 57 times 18 pi plus 18. So 57 into 18 times pi plus 1. 18 sevens are 126, 6, 12. 18 pi's are 90. 90 plus 12 is 102. It's 1026 times 1 plus pi square centimeters. We've got this answer. HCF and then some poking around with simple mensuration. In an examination, the score of A was 10% less than that of B. B was 25% more than that of C. C was 20% less than that of D. A scored 72. 10% less than that of B. So B into 0.9 is A, or B is 80. B scored 25% more than that of C. C into 5 by 4 is 80. 25% more. C equals 80 into 4 by 5, 64. The score of C was 20% less than that of D. 4 by 5 D is equal to C is equal to 64. D is 64 into 5 by 4, back to 80. So they scored 72, 80, 64 and 80. Then the score of D was 80 marks. The percent of a salt solution is P%. If 100 ml of the solution contains P% if 100 ml of the solution contains P grams of salt. Each of the three vessels A, B and C contains 500 ml of salt solution of strengths 10%, 22% and 32% respectively. So A, B, C, 10%, 22%, 32%. So if this is P% if 100 ml of solution contains P grams of salt. This is 500 ml. So 50 grams of salt. 22 into 5, 110 grams of salt, 160 grams of salt. Now 100 ml of the solution in vessel A is transferred to vessel B. 100 ml of the solution in vessel B is transferred to vessel C. Finally, 100 ml of the solution in vessel C is transferred to vessel A. And so, do it step by step. First, we'll transfer from here to here. And so, 1/5 is taken away. And so, now this will have 600 ml. 120 grams will be there. It becomes a 20% solution. Right? From the 600 ml, we're transferring another 100 ml. 100 ml to this one, the second time around. And so, of 120, 1/6 is going away. So 20 grams will get added to this. So this will become 180 grams in 600 ml. From this 100 ml is transferred back here. That will be 1/6 of this, or 30 grams get added back. So our solution A, 50 grams, we lost 10 grams because that's what we transferred here, and gained 30 grams because that's what we got back from there. 50 minus 10 is 40, 40 plus 30 is 70. So 70 grams in 500 ml, or in our definition, this is 14% solution. A shopkeeper sells two tables, each procured at cost price P, to Amal and Asim at a profit of 20% and loss of 20% respectively. Cost price is P. He sells to Amal at 1.2p and to Asim at 0.8p. A profit of 20%, loss of 20%. Amal sells his table to Bimal at a profit of 30%. He sells it to Bimal at a profit of 30%, or he'll be selling it at 1.2p into 1.3, which is 1.56p. Well, Asim sells his table to Barun at a loss of 30%. Loss of 30% to Varun, or he's selling it at 0.8p into 0.7, which is 0.56p. If the amounts paid by Bimal and Barun are X and Y respectively, this is X, this is Y. X minus Y by P is 1.56p minus 0.56p divided by P. It is 1p by P, which is 1. This is the answer. And it's a very simple question. Do methodically, you're getting to the answer. Amal invests rupees 12,000 at 8% interest compounded annually, and rupees 10,000 at 6% interest compounded semi-annually. Both investments being for 1 year. Bimal invests his money at 7.5% simple interest for 1 year. If Amal and Bimal get the same amount of interest, then the amount in rupees invested by Bimal. Fine. Amal puts money into two things. 12k at 8% compounded annually, and 10k at 6% compounded semi-annually. This is for 1 year. It's compounded annually, and this number, the interest, is going to be 12k into 1 plus 8 by 100 minus 12k. P into 1 plus R by 100 whole power n minus principal, or it is just 12,000 into 8 by 100. 120 into 8, 960. This one, the amount is going to be 10,000 into 1 plus 3 by 100 compounded semi-annually whole square. Twice over, or it is 10000 into 103 by 100 into 103 by 100. 2 zeros get knocked off here. 103 whole square is the amount. 103 whole square is 10609. 106 into 100 plus 3 square. A square minus b square is a plus b into a minus b. Or the interest component is this minus 10,000, which is 609. Brilliant. The total interest will be 960 plus 609. 961569. This is the interest Bimal gets when he's investing his money at 7.5% simple interest for 1 year. So principal into 7.5 by 100 rate into 1 is 1569. Into principal 1569 into 100 by 7.5. And we can make this 15, make it into 2. 100 into 2 by 15. We can cancel off a 3 with this, cancel off a 5 with this. Let's do both of that. Cancelling a 5 with this, this will make it 20. This will be 3. This is 1569 by 3. 523 into 40. That will be the principal Bimal should have invested. 4 3s are 12, 2 1. 4 2s are 8, 8 plus 1 9. 4 5s are 20. He should have invested rupees 20,920. Simple brute force formula. When I did the first time around, there was some ambiguity about whether this is 6% for the 6-month period or 6% annual interest. So 3% for 6 months. They seem to have taken the convention as if it is stated without the adjective, it is the annual interest. So 6% interest, that means 6% per annum interest. Keep that in mind. In 2010, the library contained 11,500 books in 2 categories, fiction and non-fiction. 11,500. Fiction, non-fiction. In 2015, library contained 12760. During this period, there was a 10% increase in fiction and a 12% increase in non-fiction. How many fiction books were there in 2015? Very simple. Let's call this as X. X into 10%. This will be 11,500 minus X into 12%. This difference is 12760 minus 11500. That's the increase. 060, 1260. 1260 is 10% of X, which is X by 10. Plus 11,500 minus X into 12 by 100 equals 1260. I'm going to call this as 10x by 100. Take the 100 that side. So let's say this becomes 10x plus 11500 minus 12x equals 126000. Wonderful. Let's simplify this. The 100 goes that side. Oh, sorry, 11,500 into 12. 12 into 11,500. 0, 0, 12, 5 is 60, 0, 6. 12 plus 6, 18, 8, 1, 13800 minus 126000 equals 2x. 0, 0, 0, 2. 12,000 is 2x, or x is 6,000. So the number of fiction books in 2010 is 6,000. We want to know how many fiction books were in the library in 2015. 6,000 plus 10% of 6,000, 6,600. It grows by 10%. 10% of 6,000 is 600, 6,600. In an examination, Rama's score was 1/12 the sum of the scores of Mohan and Anjali. After a review, the score of each of them increased by 6. The revised scores of Anjali, Mohan and Rama were in the ratio 11:10:3. Whenever a ratio is given, simple idea, start your variable from that point. So let's say their scores after review were 11x, 10x and 3x. Each of them has got 6 more. So before that, it could mean 11x minus 6, 10x minus 6, 3x minus 6. Now Rama's score was 1/12 the sum of Mohan and Anjali. So 11x minus 6 plus 10x minus 6 into minus 6 into 1/12 is 3x minus 6. 11x plus 10x is 21x minus 12 equals 36x minus 72. 60 equals 15x, or x is 4. Or Anjali after revision scored 44, Mohan 40 and Rama 3 into 4, 12. So the difference between Anjali's score exceeded Ram's score by 32. Even before revision it would have been 32 because all of them are getting, each of them is getting 6 more. The difference is not going to change. 44 minus 12, 32. John jogs on track A at 6 km per hour, while Mary jogs on track B at 7.5 km per hour. The total length of tracks A and B is 325. While John makes 9 rounds of track A, Mary makes 5 rounds of track B. And so Mary travels at 6 km per hour. When John makes, this is track A, let's say length is A, this is track B, total length is B. John travels 9A, at the same time Mary travels 5B. John will take 9A by 6 as a time. Mary will take 5B by 7.5 because the speed is 6 km per hour and 7.5 km per hour. So time taken would be equal because while John makes 9 rounds, Mary makes 5 rounds. So the time taken for John should be equal to time taken for Mary. Distance by speed equals distance by speed. 9A by 6 is 3 by 2A. 5B by 7.5 is 2 by 3B. 3 by 2A equals 2 by 3B, or A equals 4 by 9B. A is 4/9 of B. The total length is 325 meters. A is 4 by 9 of B. 4 by 9B plus B is 325, or 13 by 9B is 325 meters. B is 325 into 9 by 13. This should be a multiple of 13. This is 25. B is 25 into 9, which is 225 meters. In how many seconds will Mary make 1 round of track A? This is 325 meters. Track B is 325 meters. Track A is 4 by 9 of that, or 100 meters. Mary jogs. In how many seconds will Mary make 1 round of track A? Track A measures 100 meters. Mary jogs at 7.5 kilometers per hour. So let's say 100 meters traveled at the rate of 7.5 kilometers per hour. 7.5 into 5 by 18 meters per second. Kilometers per hour, we're converting it to meters per second. 100 by this. That many seconds it will take. So, or 100 into 18 by 7.5 into 5. 18 by 7.5, let's cancel off a 3, becomes 6. This is 2.5. Make it 5, make it 2. 5 into 5 is 25. 100 by 25 is 4. 2 into 4 into 6 seconds. 2 into 4 is 8. 8 into 6, 48 seconds. So Mary will take 48 seconds to make 1 round of track A. The salaries of Ramesh, Ganesh and Rajesh were in the ratio 6:5:7. Ram, Gan, Raj. 6:5:7. This is in 2010, and in the ratio 3:4:3 in 2015. If Ramesh's salary increased by 25% during 2010 to 2015, oh brilliant, 6 increases by 25%. or 6 will become 6 plus 1/4 of 6. 1/4 of 6 is 1.5. 1.5 it will become 7.5. This 6 becomes 7.5. 3:4:3 is 7.5 is to what? 3 into 2.5 is 7.5. 4 into 2.5 is 10. 3 into 2.5 is 7.5. The percentage increase in Rajesh's salary during this period is closest to, or Rajesh's salary has gone from 7 to 7.5. 7 to 7.5. Increase of 0.5 on a base of 7, or 1 by 14. 1/14th as a percentage, roughly 7.147, little more than 7%. That's what it is. The key thing here to be able to translate ratios. 3:4:3 is 7.5 is to 10 is to 7.5. Keeping this as the base, finding this number, and then translating this ratio with this number as static. And very simple question, but delightful question to understand ratios. A cyclist leaves at 10 a.m. and reaches B at 11 a.m. Starting from 10:01 a.m., every minute a motorcycle leaves A and moves towards B. 45 such motorcycles reach B by 11 a.m. 45 such. All motorcycles have the same speed. If the cyclist had doubled his speed, how many motorcycles would have reached B by the time the cyclist reached B? Starting from 10:01, every minute a motorcycle leaves A and moves towards B. 45 such motorcycles reach by 11 a.m. So 10:01, 10:02, 10:03, all of them will reach up to and including the one leaving at 10:45. That's the 45th motorcycle. The one starting at 10:46 does not reach. So 45 such motorcycles reach, or the motorcycle commute time. The one that starts at 10:45 reaches by 11, or the motorcycle commute time is 15 minutes. The one that starts at 10:46 does not reach. The one that starts at 10:45 does reach, or each motorcycle takes 15 minutes to reach this place. Wonderful. The cyclist had doubled his speed. How many motorcycles would have reached B by the time the cyclist reached B? And so for a cyclist leaves at 10 and reaches at 11. So if he doubles his speed, then he would start at A and reach B by 10:30. Right? So now think about this. Motorcycles starting at 10:15 can reach. The one that starts at 10:16 cannot reach. So we start at 10:01, 10:02, 10:03, all the way till 10:15. All of these will reach, but not anything that started after that, or 15 motorcycles will reach. There's more a logical reasoning, simple numerical puzzle than a speed, time, distance question. All we are computing is if the speed doubles, the time will halve. So instead of reaching at 11, the cyclist will reach at 10:30. That's it. Nothing more than that. Anil alone can do a job in 20 days. So Anil in 1 day can do 1/20th of the task. Sunil in 1 day can do 1/40th of the task, because he can do it alone in 40 days. Anil starts the job, and after 3 days Sunil joins him. So first 3 days we have done 3/20 of the task. Again after that they'll be doing each day 3/40. 1/20 plus 1/40, or 2/40 plus 1/40, 3/40. Again, after a few more days, Bimal joins them and they together finish the job. If Bimal has done 10% of the job, then in how many days was the job done? Bimal has done 10% of the job. So if we say 1 unit of the job is there, Anil alone does 3/20, Bimal does 10%. Remaining, the difference is done by Anil and Sunil together. Right? So Bimal alone has done 10%, Anil alone has done 3/20, and then Anil and Sunil at the rate of 3/40 per day do the remaining. There's a by 40 here. I'm going to bring everything to a per 40 basis. So let's think about this. Anil alone 3/20 is 6/40. Bimal 10% is 4/40. This gets completed in the first 3 days. This gets completed in the window where Bimal is working. In between, we have Anil and Sunil. When Bimal is working, also Anil and Sunil work. We cannot forget that. And so Anil and Sunil would have done this. So we're looking at Anil and Sunil's contribution. Together they can do 3 by 40 in one day. They have 6 by 40 plus 4 by 40 completed. 10 by 40 already done. So 30 by 40 is remaining. Or Anil and Sunil have together work for 10 days. So Anil alone works for 3 days. Anil and Sunil together work for 10 days. Within this 10 days, Bimal has come in at some point of time and completed 10% of the task. The total number of days is 13. And so if we look at 13-day cycle like this, the first 3 days A only. After this A and S throughout. Somewhere here B also. Remember, when Bimal is working, Anil and Sunil are also working. John gets rupees 57 per hour of regular work and rupees 114 per hour of overtime work. Rupees 57 regular, rupees 114 OT. He works altogether 172 hours and his income from overtime hours is 15% of his income from regular hours. Let's say he works T hours like this. He works 172 minus T hours like this. So 57 T is a total he gets from this. 114 into 172 minus T is the total he gets from overtime. Income from overtime hours is 15% of this. So 15% of 57T is 114 into 172 minus T. 114 is 2 times 7, or 15 by 100, 3 by 20 times T is 2 times 172 minus T. 3T equals 40 times 172 minus T. 3T plus 40T is 40 into 172. 43T is 40 into 172. 43 into 2 is 86. 43 into 4 is 172. Wonderful. So this is just 4. Or T is 40 into 4, 160. Or he spends 160 hours of regular time. How many hours did he work overtime? 12 hours. 172 minus 160. Mukesh purchased 10 bicycles in 2017, all at the same price. Same price, say CP equal to X. He sold 6 of these at a profit of 25%. So his cost price is 10x. For 6 of them, he makes a profit of X by 4 each. Remaining 4, he makes a loss of 25%, X by 4 each. We made a total profit of rupees 2000. That means this is plus, this is my 3x by 2. 3x by 2 minus x is 2000. Or x by 2 is 2000. X is 4000. The cost price of each bicycle is rupees 4000. Very simple. Assume cost price to be x. On 6 he makes a profit of x by 4. On 4 he makes a loss of x by 4. Effectively, profit of x by 4 on 2 vehicles remains, which effectively is x by 2. X by 2 is 2000. X is 4000.